his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feet.
Gets the ace. Available just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Welcome, Saints Nation, to PlayVS Fortnite Trios, the preseason for what is going to be, I'm sure, an absolutely crazy and fantastic season here for some PlayVS Fortnite. My name is Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners, going to be bringing you the action as the producer and host here tonight. As for the first time in this season, we're going to get to see teams of 3 hit the battle bus and hit the field to try and keep themselves alive as long as possible and get as much eliminations as possible. Basically, the name of the game here for Fortnite, of course, for those who don't know, Battle Royale style game. Basically, it's Hunger Games. Just try to keep yourself alive as long as possible, but at least for tonight, it gets to be in teams of 3. And a lot of people, they probably know of Fortnite. However, how does this competitive scene actually work? And, what am I supposed to be looking at? Well, thankfully, I've got ourselves a little bit of a cheat sheet here for you here tonight. Of course, lots of text here, but it does get a little bit crazy. So how does this league work? So for PlayVS, the teams have 3 hours total to play up to 10 matches in the PlayVS Trios section of the game. So it's going to mean that's going to be 33 different collegiate teams in one match, total of 99 players. And then, of course, teams are scoring points based off of not only their finishing position, but how many eliminations they can get as the game goes on. A little bit of promotion to actually get aggressive early on and not just play for the late game, not just try to play for the victory royale. Because, of course, yes, the victory royale is definitely sweet, but at the same time, you can definitely make absolute profit if you just go for the kills. And then as for the positioning themselves here, every slot you move up, this score thing that I actually have down here might be a tad bit misleading, because I was just informed that if you get into, say, the top 12, for example, every position you move up in that top 12 is going to be 3 points. So from 12th, that's 3 points. From to 11th, that's another 3 points. 10th, it's another 3 points, so on and so forth. So each position here for your team definitely counts, and it's going to be absolutely nuts, of course. Then eliminations. Unlike the NACE season that we did see earlier in, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we got to see some NACE doubles. Their format is a little bit different. For PlayVS, each kill gives a team 2 points, but you can only earn up to 20 points based off of eliminations alone. So you can't go pure trigger happy and completely try to get as much points just off of kills alone. There is a bit of a cap there at 20, but still, that is pretty far into the games that would require your team to get 10 kills to cap out there. So it's still quite the task at hand. And of course, your first prediction actually for tonight's stream for game number 1. Will our Saints manage to muster up 10 kills or more for themselves here in this first matchup? Of course, we're actually going to be hopping into game in just a moment here as the team has hit the battle bus, and we're going to hop in and catch the action alongside coach and captain Sirius's point of view. And of course, we are on quite the delay here, so anybody trying to be silly with stream sniping, don't bother. They've already gone and done their business, so to speak. Of course, our team for tonight, and I actually realized my overlay might be in a bit of an awkward position considering it's blocking the health bars. Let's move that a little bit, because we do have on the side of St. Clair, it's going to be Sirius, Lysix, and Junie going to be taking the field for us here tonight. Let's shimmy that on over. Yeah, there we go. So now we can actually see the health bars and shield levels of everybody here in the game. Of course, first of possibly 10 matches here for this Fortnite squad. And it looks like the trio for the Saints here have themselves at least a little bit of breathing room to start things off. Nobody else, I think, really landed in the same area they did. And they're actually going to steal themselves a transport truck to get things started off with. So, going to be able to traverse this quicker than walking anyway. Transports, of course, may be a little bit sluggish, but I'll take that over having to walk halfway across the map any day. That being said, though, of course, these trucks do not last forever. They will end up just, excuse me. You will run out of fuel eventually. You'll be able to keep track of that, of course, on the right-hand side. And sure enough, very similar strategy compared to what the Saints were doing in the Nace doubles, where they're going to be relying a little bit on some of the NPCs that can be found in the game. Some of the player, or not the players, but of course the people here in the game that aren't actually players. They will give you quests, and of course that'll end up, if you complete those quests, you will get gold for yourself, which can be used. I think the most commonly thing here when I was talking with Siri was commonly using that gold to level up your weapon. So taking it from a green to a blue rarity, making it do more damage, more accuracy, and just making it a better gun overall. Of course, being that to do that there for all three members would be fantastic. And sure enough, speaking of an AI, we have ourselves a gnome coming out here apparently. Oh dear. We've been gnomed. Yeah, with a nice quiet start here for the side of St. Clair. Of course, nobody anywhere nearby. The storm location right now is actually pretty favorable for the Saints as well. They don't have to force themselves out of dodge. They can just farm up the best as possible, get as much materials as possible, maybe try and find themselves a additional quest or two. We do see another one coming out, and getting those protect your teammate quests nice and early when there is no engagements happening, and just being able to like stall it out, that's just free gold. It's just absolutely perfect there for the side of St. Clair. Now, taking, of course, a look at this St. Clair squad, during the last time we did get these guys on stream here, we did have Sirius and Junie who were taking care of it. This is the first time, at least personally, I get to see Lasix in action. But, of course, compared to the Fortnite teams of old, all these players, exception of Sirius, are pretty much all new to myself. Long gone are the days of Brownside Draza here on the Saint side of things. And there's, of course, Siri Beauty, Sergeant Swell, and all the squad from the last couple semesters, but brand new squad coming in here for this semester, and they've been doing a dang well good job in Nace anyway, as I think they are actually leading that league as of this moment. And look and take that kind of momentum and run with it moving forward here into PlayVS, of course. But now that they've gotten the opportunity to farm up, I mean, looking at Siri's arsenal anyway, not too shabby. Got the charged up shotgun, of course, and the assault rifle. Shields for days, and we do actually have ourselves our first engagement of the night, as it is going to be Siri getting peppered with that sniper rifle, actually. Trying to get him from, I believe, the town just down the road. It's going to probably have to try and call in Lasix and Junie. That is going to be Lasix here coming in the car, and Junie is not too far behind as well, so he's definitely going to be making some noise, hops in the car, and of course, Sniper is not going to try and deal with the car, and Siri is going to be able to get out of dodge just in time. With these being trios actions, like, it's surprisingly quiet to start things off, but just you wait until we get to the mid-game into the late-game portions of these Fortnite matches, where things are going to get absolutely messy. Trying to keep track of 3 teammates per team is going to get nutty, and these engagements are going to be absolutely all over the place. At least there for Siri, the only thing that really ended up happening to him was losing maybe a tiny bit of his shields, so nothing to really be concerned about. Gonna hang on tight, has plenty of shields available. Might opt not to use one just yet. Was only about 21 points down, so don't want to use a potion that, of course, would heal 50 right away for that, especially if they can find something different, which it looks like they might group up for. I thought that was the can of shields, but opting not to go for it right here, right now. The storm, of course, is slowly but surely making its way here. Still another 2 minutes on it before it closes in to its next section. And that's where it was. The shots were fired from Sweaty Sands. That's where Sniper was at one point or another. Seems quiet right now, but of course, definitely have to be careful. You do see a couple buildings actually on the horizon around that gas station. And actually, we did kind of see just a second ago down by the beach area. One of the teams are located there. We do see some buildings coming up pretty quickly. Not sure if the Saints want to engage early on this. They're definitely debating on it. Assault rifles ready and waiting. Can they get the jump on it? With the team right on the rooftops, that is going to be a good chunk of shields down. At least 60 shields gone off that one player. So you have to be thinking to yourself, where's the other two members? Can you actually afford to take this fight? Do you want to take it this early? That was a little bit of a hiccup. We're back to the swing of things, and that we got to see right away. Sniper rifle shot going right by. And of course, one of the bounties was to eliminate a specific person, so Saints, of course, not going to be able to find them. That bounty is going to end up going to waste. They're not going to get the gold for that one. They are still going to be able to protect Junie for the next minute or so left on the clock. Okay, and the storm right around the corner. We'll get to see if the Saints get to basically sit pretty or if they're going to have to move again. My bet is that they're going to have to move again here. Of course, can use that harpoon, pull a couple fish out of the water. And we still have quite a few players left in this game. We did lose a few, though. About a third of the field goes down already. We did start this off with 99 players. And the storm location for round number 2 here is not too bad, actually, for the side of St. Clair. They don't have to move very far, so they can actually think about more of the farming and then setting up to eventually jump onto another member, or another team, rather. Instead of worrying about having to travel very, very far. This area, other than the actual castle itself, if they can get into there and loot it up, they'll be safe for a little while here. But the fact that it's in all this water, this is a lot of open area that, of course, you could very well get sniped down upon. And in fact, I think it may have been Lasix who may have spotted somebody out, so they're going to try and keep themselves safe here. Apparently, you can snag yourself coconuts here. They definitely think of everything, apparently, in this game nowadays. Going to bring Siri up to 90 shields, or 91 shields, so almost perfect. Judy and Lasix are in pretty good shape as of there right now. 100, 100, ready for any sort of combat. You can already see, compared to some of the other matchups or other game modes, this storm moves pretty quickly, to be completely honest. The fact that we're already like almost down to the last quarter of the map and it's only been the one storm section is pretty crazy. One player did drop down from the waterfall. He is going to make contact here as Siri does find the one shot. Looking to get to the high ground as best as possible. And of course, being able to make your own high ground is absolutely wonderful. Just going to keep making himself a bridge. If you fall into the water, you will definitely be a sitting duck. Siri on the way to try and challenge. You can tell his building is so much faster than the opponent's, and he's able to get into such a decent or such a strong position. It's going to force the other team to just stop trying to build high and just build to survive, and is not exactly the kind of place you want to be in. Siri not going to get out scot-free, however. He is going to get tagged with a bunch of damage onto his shields, but does, of course, have backup. Able to top himself back up. First one to take damage on the team here again. And he's just straight up going in. He's right inside the building that the other team did construct, but now going to try and tear through here. They don't have a whole heck of a lot of ammo, but they do have at least a little bit. That assault rifle, about 300 shots. And Siri nearly gets himself jumped on. We do have a bit of a two-pronged attack, looks like it comes here. So the third-party effects happening to the Saints squad. They want these kills. They're kind of committed for it. They have to watch their flank as well. Like I was saying before, this Coral Castle area, you fall down, you're in the water, you're a sitting duck, it's wide open, there's no way to hide unless you can just build your way out of it. And of course that requires you actually having materials. Shots fired, either they're going to break on in here, and they are going to find, or at least knock one of the players down. Still two more to deal with. That is going to be Lasix, I believe. Finding the first kill onto one of the members. Siri point blank with one of them as well. Is playing around the edits and is going to find it as soon as the wall goes down. Boom. Got that shotgun right in the gut, and you're going down. That's going to be 3 eliminations at least going over to St. Clair. I think Lasix got 2, Siri got 1. And now, as that all ended up going down, Saints have to prepare because the storm has arrived. Gonna have to go on the move once again in just a moment. Or are they? Yeah, they're gonna have to move, it looks like. It is gonna move out of the Coral Castle, and they're going to have to move to the southeast area and regroup. It's a little bit unfortunate. They have so much, or such a huge fort that they could have worked with if the storm had been in their favor, but it's not going to be the case. They're going to have to get out of here. Are they going to get out of here quick and start moving and set up a fort, or are they going to try and come in late, kind of go in with the storm? That is shots fired here down by the purple ping, as we do see on our screen, a little bit further down by the next set of buildings. That's going to be a rough area to cross, trying to cross that river. Straight up person spotted, but of course a little bit too far for the Saints to try and contest as of this moment. They're going to have to build their way across, otherwise they'll just get peppered this entire time. And there you go. Does end up swimming across and does build up the mountain, and now you kind of see that's 2 separate teams, I do believe, within like shooting distance. Would be very scary to try and take a fight here, but they're looking like they're going to give it a shot. Feeling ballsy, to say the least, here for this first game. Looking to move in onto one of the forts, possibly. We do see the player from the other squad up on the other side. Siri in the wide open. Up until now, finally able to build his way across. Takes a little bit of damage, however. A little bit of shields gone, just under 30. And here we go. It's time to get lost in the builds. I don't know how these players do it, but they are so quick at doing this. And it's been a rather quiet couple of minutes here in regards to eliminations. The last storm started off with 68 players, I do believe. And we're still at 62, so there are still about to be so many players in such a small area. It is going to get nasty in the best way possible. And of course, taking a look actually at the prediction, what did you think in regards to eliminations here this game? About 13% of you said 9 or less. 87 of you saying that it's going to be a 10-kill game here for the St. Clair squad. Well, they've got 3. They've gotten an okay start, but there's still a little bit of ways to go here. Shots from the side and from below. The storm moving on in as well, but they're going to stay safe for at least a second, and they only have a minute 20, and the storm moved on them again. Once again, they build themselves up a fort, and it's not going to pay off for at least the long term. Going to have to move once again. They don't have a heck of a lot of time to actually farm materials or anything either. No matter where they move, there's going to be some sort of contest. It just goes to show how crazy important trying to do the farming in the early game really is here to this competitive Fortnite style, because you have absolutely no room now, as we do see the Saints jumping onto one of the players, knocking them away from all their shields and doing a little bit of health damage, but not going to quite finish them off just yet. Shots fired all over the place. It's time to get absolutely crazy. Siri's going to find himself poked a little bit. He's kind of point blank here with one of the players. Good wall to keep himself alive. Lasix did get dropped in this engagement. Siri is down to half health. He's down in this engagement. Junie is right around the corner, but he's sitting there with less than a quarter HP. It's going to be Bokami to take the kill there onto Siri to finish him off. But where is Junie? We do see Lasix down and has fallen all the way down to the bottom of the hill, actually. Junie sitting there with 100 health but no shields, might be able to actually come on down and get the save onto Lasix. Would be an epic save if he can definitely do that. He's pretty low on time. And it looks like somebody's looking to pressure. Yep, shotgun in the face, and it's going to be the Saints getting dropped for game number 1. So that is going to be, I believe, 3 points into the favor of St. Clair. So all of you that said 9 or less will definitely be the victors here in regards to the channel points for our very first prediction. But of course, the nice thing about this Play versus League compared to others is that we can literally hop right back into the queue and let's get it in for game number 2. No 30-minute delays just because you have to put a server in order. So it's nice that we'll get right back into the action nice and quick momentarily. Of course, another 99 players or 33 teams coming in this time by. Unfortunately, we don't necessarily know who we're going up against until we are actually in the game themselves. But of course, all these teams would have had to register previously or before this tournament or this season did start here and link themselves there. Link themselves their college accounts and whatnot. So to make sure that all the players are, you know, actually collegiate players. So I like this setup, the fact they're able to just hop in from one game to the next, and at least 2. This is preseason, not only preseason for Saints to get some practice in, also a little bit of preseason for myself to actually figure out how to actually cast Fortnite, because it's definitely been a long time, so to speak. Yeah, of course, taking a look at the chat here. So, of course, Toronto fan Sammy, how you doing? Once regular season started, it is going to be starting up next week. I do believe next Wednesday will be the first one where it actually does, like your score does stick. So for game 1, of course, Saints would have had themselves 3 points in regards to, or no, not 3 points. They had them. I got to get used to this. It's 2 points per kill. They had 3 of them, 6 kills. Where did they finish? This is why you don't do math live, people. So anyway, with them hitting the top 20, they would have scored themselves at least a little bit, it looks like. Probably like 12 some odd points, if I'm reading this correctly. But of course, don't speed math live. But anyway, as we do wait for the next game to load on in, it looks like now, just as I was praising the servers for being able to hop into game after game after game, looks like there's a little bit of lag happening here. So very quickly, big thank you to the sponsors that make this all happen here for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. That, of course, being St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, the St. Clair SRC, St. Clair College Alumni Association, ECOLIT, and the Zeppelin School of Business and IT. Thank you for supporting us here on the St. Clair Saints varsity sports team. And, of course, big thank you to everybody who's been here tuning into the match right as we're getting into the swing of things. About 13, 14 of you here and chatting already. So thank you so much for supporting your classmates, friends, or just the teams themselves as we get ready for this Play versus regular season coming up next week. And let's take quickest of looks here. Okay, looks like the delay has subsided. So anybody who guessed 9 or less, we will get you your points right here, right now. You predicted correctly, and it looks like there is only one of you that picked 9 or less. So profit as the odds go into the favor of that prison. Mort's the hero. Gonna absolutely profit here on that one. But it looks like just about getting ready to hop in to the matchup. Going to be taking a very, very quick break, but once we do hop in to the game itself, we'll get right into the swing of things, right at the battle bus itself. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right around the corner, probably within the next minute or two. Just going to snag a water real fast, and then we'll get into the action. And we're back this time for game number 2. And actually, I'm going to give myself the miniest of pats on the back, as I did say prior to the break that, I think they got 12 points if I read this correctly. Sure enough, that was actually the case, which means the St. Clair squad would have gotten a total of 16 points after that first session in this playoff, or not this playoff, this Play versus Trios season. And we're going to try this off once again. Siri's going to hop on in. He's not going to find himself, or he's going to find himself a pistol at least, but then everybody else going over to the transport truck once again, topping off on shields. Just such a nice, easy start to get all topped off and good to go. "90 players starting in this matchup, it looks like, compared to last time. Probably a lot of teams that maybe didn't have a very super successful round 1. But of course, that is the nice thing about this Play versus Leagues, that you can get quite a few matches in, up to 10, if everything's not necessarily going in your favor. Lets you play aggressive, lets you try and make more moves compared to normal. And unfortunately there for the Saints in that one. Of course, made it on the upper half of the... oh no, I'm actually a liar. Just barely below the halfway point in that last one, but definitely unfortunate. I think Lasix and Siri both got themselves caught out, and as Junie was doing or trying to get Lasix revived, did get jumped on, and you're point blank with a shotgun, and I'm sorry, I don't care how good you are. You're probably not winning that fight. We do have the gnome once again. Grimble's going to just try and level up some of these items. Now that shotgun and that sniper are both in beautiful shape. We get ourselves some decent shields here. Of course, those cans that we've seen Siri pick on up is an AoE heal of shielding. So group up the team, splash the can all over them, and make sure that you're going into this next fight nice and safe. But right now, of course, since they did take that transport truck, they're going to be in fantastic shape as well. Siri to the point where he has so much shielding, he doesn't know what to do with it. Going to have to ping it out there for his teammates. Like, hey, okay, somebody else take this. You're probably going to need it more than I do at this point. Well, let's get a look on here for predictions for game number 2. Will the Saints make it to the top 10? You'll have 5 minutes here to maybe place your bets on that one, of course, with those channel points. And again, as much as it's quiet, it definitely makes sense why the Saints in this situation, why it's so quiet. You might as well just farm up on materials. We did see kind of going into that next, or at the end of that first game, Siri was basically out of wood, out of brick, and was almost to the point where his iron or his steel was getting threatened as well. And just because maybe they tried to get a little bit too aggressive too early, we did see them trying to fight somebody over towards sweaty area. I can't remember what it's called, but the town just as we're seeing right here with Siri. Points on the website don't make sense. Hey, that's also another reason why this is preseason, so that PlayVS can make sure that everything's all good to go as well, of course. So I will trust the in-game clients for now. It says we have 16, but we'll have to see how that goes moving forward. Snipe shot coming out here from Siri is not going to make contact with anybody. He is going to eventually pepper them down and get rid of their shields at least, down to about 70 health, if I am calculating this correctly. And Siri is on the move, but where are the teammates of the player that he just shot? That's always a nerve-wracking thing. Yes, you see the one. Shots fired. He just dinked him for about 50 health. Going to be forced to go right back into his building. There's one of the teammates possibly right around the corner. Siri, threatening shot there with that sniper rifle. And not going to find it. Lasix actually charging on in here. Where's Junie in all this as well? Right to the side of Siri, it looks like. So Saints on the move to try and make an aggressive play and get themselves some eliminations going forward in this matchup. Does catch one of the players going into the building, but as they do, somebody from the towers is taking some shots and is going to tag Siri just ever so slightly. We do see him now on the top of that building. Have themselves in a good spot. While all this is happening, there is the storm moving on forward. Lasix again going in head first here in this gunfight. Siri, of course, from the hilltops calling the shots here, as there is one player also off to the right-hand side. Gonna put them behind the building, at least keep them suppressed for at least a little bit longer. As the rest of the Saints, of course, still chasing in on one of the players, and it looks like they did catch one of them. Lasix is going to find himself another kill here in this game. Or first one here for this game, rather. Two-pronged attack coming out here, and the Saints know exactly where they are. You do see one of the players just a little bit ahead of Siri inside the building. Snipe is not going to find contact. And possibly going to look to push a player who is hiding around the house area. And they're blowing a lot of materials pretty quickly here. No wood, no brick, strictly steel left here for Siri anyway. We do see one of the players actually hops in the car. They're going to try and get themselves the getaway. And Siri's going to try and pepper this down more than likely. Shoot the tires! Shoot the tires! I'm not sure if that's actually a thing here in Fortnite. But they're going to try and pepper at least some of the armor in that car. And they actually, okay, the car just did a backflip. All right, then. I guess their ride is toast. This could be the chance for Saints to maybe move on in. That being said, though, their opponents did build extremely quickly. And they're instantly going to knock Siri down a step or two. Down to about 30 shields, but still has full health. So not completely threatened as of yet. But of course, anytime their shields go down, it's definitely nerve-wracking. They have the jump onto whoever this player is. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough materials to just keep on peppering through all of this assault rifle fire. Siri actually just going to go point blank with somebody here. Are they going to be able to win this one? Lasix is here alongside him, and Lasix, I think, does get the knock onto him. And that is going to be Lasix securing kill number 2 here for the Saints. And oh, Siri got jumped on out of nowhere, but that is going to be kill number 3 now, going over to the side of St. Clair. I think Junie's getting the credit with that one. So it is going to be 2 points now, or not 2 points, but 2 kills total. One was a knock, so one of the players didn't quite go down just yet, it looks like. Siri going to be hanging on by a thread. Everybody's got healing materials. They're going to get all topped off. And of course, the storm is not going to threaten them as of this moment. It's still 30 seconds or so before that becomes a factor. Yeah, there we go. Get the can, splash all over, everybody, get everybody all topped off. Yeah, so just like that, Siri's going to be sitting there with pretty much almost full. Just a little bit of shields missing, but find one more bottle and you'll be A-okay. Yeah, so Sweaty Sands was absolutely bleeding red with the way that game started off there. Once again, Siri and the rest of the St. Clair squad getting aggressive on a team nice and early, but it is going to benefit them this time by. Last time they got the jump on somebody, it just ended up being a bit of a stalemate, but this time they're going to be walking away at least with 4 points here, for sure. They're going to have to move out of Sweaty Sands, however, because it does look like the storm will be taking a trip down to the southeast. Their little stairway to heaven will have to go to waste, but I do like the fact that Saints are taking the opportunity to farm up again. Get as much materials as possible. We did see near the end there, Siri was absolutely out of it. Lost everything except maybe a tiny little bit of steel. Actually, no. Yeah, 20 points of steel. So that's very, very little. Would have had to do strictly trying to outmaneuver throughout the stairway to heaven, and that is definitely a difficult task. You can only prevent so many shots before you usually need to put something up in front of you to block it. And if you're out of materials, well, you're out of luck. 67 players still here in this matchup. Did he just throw a fish? Outrage. This game amazes me sometimes, just saying. But anyway, enough throwing fish. Saints have to move here, so we have just under 2 minutes to make it to the next section. And this is kind of where the Saints ended up in the last game, with like last 60 or so players alive in the game. And it didn't even get to the point where the storm was super small, but it was just enough to kind of make things maybe a little bit uncomfortable. And they ended up getting taken down after basically just getting third party, to where they took an engagement and another team that was completely unrelated to the fight just showed up to try to take them both down. So something you definitely have to worry about. Of course, the chaotic part of trios is that the third-party team could definitely come in at any point. More eyes on sight, more eyes on the fight. DTAJ03 in the chat. Watching you guys play is making you get hyped, and you're from another university. Well, whether you're from the St. Clair side of things or not, we definitely welcome you here on the St. Clair Saints stream. Thank you for tuning in, alongside everybody else joining us here tonight. Let's take a look, and as the storm's about to close on and no engagement out of the second, let's take a look at what our prediction here is for this next matchup. And you guys have faith, lots of faith apparently, as that's going to be 35,000 points going towards the Saints making the top 10 here in this matchup. Okay, might start getting ourselves a little bit of action here. Once again, right around that 60-player mark is where some skirmishes start happening. And we do see through the sniper rifle scope here from Siri that there's one team just to the left of them. And there's still so many forts to the right. And I mean, a tree is falling literally in front of you. So you know it's about to get busy here with the teams getting cramped on in. It's not quite the end game just yet, but it's still small enough to make things messy. And we're going to see Siri just literally make a tower in 1 second. That would have taken me like 3 minutes, I swear to God. I mean, if the rest of this team's here, they can find themselves in a good position, especially if that storm doesn't move for this next section. Minute left until it does start moving. Oh, Siri may have had the angle, but unfortunately, the little hole in the wall is just not quite big enough. And he find the shot. There was a shot fired towards one of the Saints players, but he's going to be protected by this tower. As we can see, this is where things start getting terrifying. You sit at the top. Siri is basically the prairie dog, the watchdog here in the of the group, sitting up top the tower. Has, of course, has the construction paper out. Not because he wants to build something, but of course you can see through your own buildings when you're looking to build something else. So you can use it to kind of peek and see who's around without exposing yourself. We see a couple teams actually looking to make a move. One of the players got tagged up. He's forced to make himself a little bit of hut. He is an absolute sitting duck. And he is in the middle of like 5 different teams at the least. So going to be brutal here. Not only if that player can survive, but then who's going to take the kill? Because since it all matters about the killing blow, who is going to find it? We do see one of the Saints members, I think that's Junie, is going to be opening up the side of that little hut. Opting against it though, Siri found the jump on somebody. That's a huge hit though. The travel time on that bullet takes forever, but that was a solid 100 chunk coming out here from Siri, instantly removing any sorts of shields that player may have had. Not going to be the kill shot, however. That's the risk you take, though, when you do go for those supply drops. It's like, yes, you might get a massive value in regards to which weapons are there, but at the same time, going to go get it half the time is leaving you as a sitting duck. We do see one team finally going over and is going to build themselves a fort around it. But we're going to see as well, people from the towers are just all kind of covering fire onto that section, which is definitely messy for whoever goes for it. Hopefully for their case, they get whatever they're looking for and get out of dodge, because it's just nothing but shots back and forth coming from that section. I'm not sure how long they're going to be able to live here. Can Siri maybe find himself an angle to get a sniping, killing blow? And wow, the storm location could not be perfect or any more perfect here for St. Clair. They are literally right on the edge. They might opt to move anyway, but they technically do not have to move right away. Right on the edge of the eye. And they might actually tunnel out a little bit here via their fort to try and extend their reach ever so slightly. And wow, Siri, I look at the chat for 1 second, he gets absolutely sniped down. Lasix is going to have to come in for the save. throw him aside and keep him nice and safe. Of course, it does take a little bit of time for it to actually get picked up. Junie going to try his best to try and keep his teammates safe. Siri is going to be A-OK. Does have shields, but he does not have a first aid med in order to keep himself back at 100%. So he's going to get himself to okay. Maybe I'm a liar. Apparently those cans are actually for health. So okay. Never mind. He's going to be back at 100% health, and then we're going to have the shield drink coming on in. So Siri going to be able to get himself back into the fight after getting picked up from LASIK. Hey, I say many times on the stream, off the stream, I don't mind being wrong. In fact, it happens quite frequently here sometimes on the Saints stream, but it's all good at the end of the day. We're having ourselves a good time here watching our Fortnite squad competing here in the Play vs. Trios League, and may the chaos ensue as the storm, it's closing in here on the Saints. PlaySix took a little bit of heat in a bit of an exchange. Gonna try and shield up as best as possible. Didn't get knocked down or anything, but lost all the shields. You see the storm moving in, and then right ahead, just back and forth gunfire here from that big tower. If the storm moved in, if the eye of the storm moved in a certain location to where anyone on that big tower has to move, that is going to be an absolute bloodbath waiting to happen. 5 seconds until we figure out where they're going to go. Just under 50 players left in this game. And it's going to be just outside of the Saints' reach, it looks like. And it's going to move actually back into the storm a little bit. So now, of course, they don't like it when people just sit in camp. So this storm is going to move and shift over completely. This is going to force pretty much everybody to move. Unless they were the lucky ones there in that big fort off to the north. And teams are on the move, and in fact, they might be trying to ransack the Saints' base here. A little bit of attacking from below. Okay, some assault rifle shots going to be coming on to the Saints fort. Nobody taking much heat as of right now. LASIK is still basically 50% on both of the health and the shields. And smack him in the face with a can and get him all topped off. Saints have tunneled their way over into the safe zone, so now can they find any stragglers? There is still 47 players here in this extremely small area. They are absolutely trying to shred this, but of course that's a bunch of steel. That is going to eat up a bunch of their ammunition to try and go through, compared to trying to go through wood or something. So they're going to be stuck for at least a bit. Kind of pinched between two teams here. We see Siri again just constantly trying to find himself an opening, find himself somebody to pick off. But right now, to be honest, all these teams doing a rather good job staying safe. Another 30 seconds before it moves again. And okay, here comes the chaos. We have 48 people. No, 46 people. 46 people are going to be trying to move from this little eye and to move alongside it while trying to stay in the safe zone. This is where things get nasty. There is still so many teams left in this game as well. I'm getting anxiety, and I'm not even the one playing here for these Saints guys, as they're looking to maybe start making the move. The storm is now on the move as well, so they're going to have to at least get themselves moving at least a little bit. It does move a little bit slowly, but still, it goes to being so small that this is going to get nasty. And this is going to be a little bit hard to follow, so bear with me. We're going to damn well give this a try here, as we do see Siri right next to somebody. He's going to actually try to get above him. Try to break the floor and maybe go to try and attack. Never mind, just going to cross and try to get himself into the safety of the eye of the storm. Apparently they climbed a hill, like with all these buildings. I have no idea what kind of terrain that they're even traversing here. We do see one player on the other side of this wall here from Siri. Junie looking to move forward alongside Lasix, but can they keep themselves safe moving forward? More and more teammates, or not more and more teammates, more and more players are dropping. We are down to 34. Saints with 3 kills so far here, or 3 eliminations rather, in this matchup. They took the one team down and 1 additional, but that was just about it. And they're going to absolutely just gate themselves towards what a ballsy move coming out here from Siri and the rest of the Saints. They're going to try and get themselves a little bit ahead of the game here. Take a little bit of storm damage just to make sure that you're within the eye of the storm as it moves. And try to tunnel yourself out. Everybody on the Saints, pretty much like 90% or higher. Players jumping on in. It's going to be some massive damage coming out. They are not going to be able to finish that player off. Not this time anyway. 25 players now left in this game. Our Saints have, I believe, made it into the top 10. I could be completely wrong, though. We'll have to follow this up as we do move around. They do reach the top 10, so anybody who guessed that they made the top 10 here today, you're going to be the victor here in regards to the prediction. But can the Saints manage to find themselves a victory royale, or at worst find themselves at least a couple more eliminations here in this game? They're going to get the jump onto somebody. Siri knocking the guy down the shields. He is so low on health. He does find one more member. The reaction time right on point. Siri going to find himself the kill here, and I believe that's going to be another one down. That was the last teammate as well, so that's technically 2 kills for the Saints. 5 total here so far in this game number 2. They have fish, they have cans, they can try to keep this going. Of course, if I do recall correctly, however, the Storm does not care about shields. It'll eat right through it. And Siri, as the rest of the team are fighting, is going to be trying to keep tunneling through. Try to keep this team alive. Give them an escape route of some sort. But as you can see now, the eye of the Storm is literally microscopic. Next to no room in the slightest, so the vertical play is going to come on into play here. Shots fired. Can they get the finishing blow? That player was so low, but it's not going to be enough. Still says 5 points for, or not 5 points, 5 eliminations here for the Saints so far. Huge shotgun shots coming out here from Siri. It's going to find, that's going to be number 6 here of the game. Make that number 8, as that was the last player on that team as well, so that counts for 2. And now, Saints actually looking to be in a fantastic spot. Even if they don't get the victory royale here, they would have absolutely gotten themselves a ton of points here in this matchup based off of eliminations and their position here in this game. They do spot, they're going to get the jump on this one player, and that is going to be Lasix, I do believe, finding the killing blow there. Junie, actually, to be completely honest with you, as we're going to keep on moving here. Of course, the nice thing about those cans, you can heal everybody up on the fly. Does not heal for much, but you can at least slowly but surely top each other off if you do have it. Now that Storm, it's getting painful actually. You can look at the cylinder. Basically, it's just a small two little cylinders here. Siri is going to end up going down, but the other 2 members of St. Clair are still alive. Do they have enough healing to keep going here? Junie is down but not out. Who got it? The Saints get the victory royale. They clutch it up in the end. Huge game in regards to eliminations. Huge game in regards to finishing and getting the victory royale on top of it. Absolute icing on the cake. This puts them to, I think that said 98 points in the loading screen. I'm trying to see there for a second. But there we go. Saints starting off strong, picking up where they left off in an absolute huge fashion there. So this means after, excuse me, so after 2 games, this would put them at 99 points so far on the night. And actually, series on the side here is actually showing me where they are standing. So technically, of the 100 some odd schools that are signed up here for PlayVS, as of right now, if this were the regular season, Saints would be 3rd here tonight. Ooh. Chaotic but exciting. Fortnite is definitely one of those sleeper esports that maybe doesn't necessarily get enough love. I know, definitely proven me wrong anyways. We move forward into game number 3. This has just been 1 hour. Technically, there is still at least another 2 hours minimum, 2 hours maximum rather, of action here tonight. Because of course it's either 3 hours if the games go long, or up to 10 matches total if you keep dropping in and dying. So Saints still in this. We're going to get ready for game number 3 very shortly. Should not take very long, but how about that? It may be preseason, but Saints are in third. Let's see if they can maybe get themselves into first by the end of the night. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for the next one. Round 3, let's get back into the fight. The Saints, of course, coming off of a fantastic game number 2, where I think that was Junie who was able to clutch up and just had enough healing to get through the storm. Even though Siri and Lane 6 were knocked down, it did not matter. Junie still stood tall, able to finish the job. So let's see if they can pull this off once again here, as this is not game number 2, as my overlay is baiting me a little bit. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay. We're doing it live here, folks, as we have ourselves, of course, a long night ahead of us here. Still another 2 hours maximum, of course, of Fortnite action, unless these next couple games just straight up don't go in the Saints' favor. But we'll have to see. Of course, like I was saying before, you do get 10 games here in the play versus regular season, or in the preseason as well. Yeah, I see he's talking about it in the chat and whatnot, because, yeah, the other competition that the Saints Fortnite team compete in is, of course, the NACE regular season. But NACE, it's just 2 games a week and you're done. Play versus, they let you go on the absolute grind and whatnot, so we're going to get definitely our fair share. You're getting your money's worth for admission, if you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess we need to think of a new prediction for game number 3 now, don't we? How do we want to do this? Do hear some shots getting fired from the side. We're going to go with the top 10 once again, because to be honest, anytime the the Saints get themselves into a victory royale or into the top 2, the next game they play usually just goes absolutely spaghetti from what I saw from Nace. But of course, my sample size is extremely small. The last time we did see the Saints, it was it was Nace, so of course it was just 2 games. So that'll be the next prediction here for tonight, of course. Can the Saints get themselves in the top 10 again this game? I know I'm cheating. I'm used the same thing twice, but I'm trying to think of something on the fly here. I've got plenty more games to find ourselves a interesting prediction in a game as we go forward, of course. And do we have ourselves an engagement to already start things off here? In fact, we do. It's going to be Lasix, actually. Going to find the double, no triple. What on earth? I see 3 eliminations there between Junie and Lasix. It's not going to show up onto Sirius's scoreboard, so I'm not going to be able to 100% sure move us forward here in regarding accurate score estimations, but still solid job here for the Saints. They found themselves an early engagement, and even though Siri didn't need to be a part of it, they take care of it. Nicely done there from Lasix and Junie. Alright, to start things off there, Siri's got himself a solid assault rifle and a solid shotgun, which basically the bread and butter of Fortnite. As long as you at least have those 2 weapons, you can take on pretty much any engagement. Is it going to be optimal at all times? Absolutely not, but you can at least fight back. So, good to see there for the side of Siri, and I'm sure Lasix and Junie are off doing pretty well the similar style of play here. And this is going to be the first time, though, that they have to move right off the bat. So the storm is not going to favor them this time. They're going to have to go more towards the center, off to the east a little bit. So as much as they would just love to sit and farm, they are going to be on a bit of a timer, it looks like. And they're actually going to have to start getting a move on right away. But of course, because of the location they spawned, you hear it in the background. Very shortly, where is their ride? And okay, it is going to be, I think that's either Lasix or Junie hopping in there and driving over the hill like a curb in one of my rookie iRaces, just absolutely blowing a tire. But at the same time, those are some durable cars, so they're going to be okay to keep on moving, going to try and loot Sweaty Sands the best as they possibly can. It seems rather quiet, at least to start things off. Never mind, there is actually somebody right in front of them. And where there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be at least another 2 teammates or this player somewhere nearby. And this is going to force Siri. We see him building like an absolute madman. But actually, so is Lasix and so is Junie. How do we have these huge forts already? And the thing is they're taking this fight, but at the same time, they don't have all the time in the world this time. A solid flank, but he's stuck reloading. Can he find the finishing blow? He's not going to find it. The storm is coming. Are they going to just whip gasoline on it and try to burn it down? But not quite this time. Saints still rather healthy. Siri gets a jump on them, but going to be built aside. Able to keep things blocked. Gets a jump again, but a solid build there from the opponent to get that roof down just in the nick of time. Siri still has himself at least a decent chunk of materials if he does want to try and engage here. He's actually just going to straight up whip out the crowbar and try to make something happen. Going back and forth here with the player. It's actually going to be Lasix on the other side now. So a little bit of a funny opportunity there where, thank God there's no friendly fire. They do spot the other player now. Gets the jump on them. Yep, this player's not long for this world. Are there actually executes here in this game? Okay, probably wise that there isn't. Apparently you can take their phone or take their card so they can't be revived. But in the meantime, though, Junie is down, but can he keep himself alive? No, he's going to get taken down. But can they take his revive card? I think it is going to be picked up. So Junie is down, but in theory might not be out just yet, especially since there is a van just down below that they can revive him at, get himself back into the game. But a Saints, a very messy but very strong start. And okay, we have ourselves a tech issue. No, we're back in the swing of things there. Our feed did get cut off for just a second there. But they are, at the end of things, going to be able to get Junie back into the game. Yeah, now, of course, yes, they won the engagement, but they have to move here to try and get away from this storm, and we see it already. Junie and Lasix, they're stuck in the storm. They're going to be taking a little bit of damage. Thankfully, it does not hurt that much early on here in this game. You see some fish getting dropped and some other healing items to try and keep their health topped off. But they have to run. I think they have to run quite a far distance in order to get here. Unless they can find a car, they do end up finding this truck. Can they get their teammates in time? Or is Siri just going to just drive it on out without his squad? I think it's too far gone. So confident that he can actually shred this car in the meantime. And he's just going to go for it. Okay, so Lasix and Junie going to be left to die in sweaty sands, possibly? Definitely would be interesting in hearing as to what kind of comms made this call. I know Lasix still had a lot of shields in this matchup, but they're just going to end up relying on Siri for the carry here for this game. Unless they can somehow get him back here. Oh, he did spot out some loot. Okay, I was wondering why he was running back into the storm for. They are so close, actually. I was thinking that they left them to die, but actually, I think that's Junie and Lasix coming in with the car at the last possible second. Lasix almost goes down. So very, very clutch job there from the Saints squad, using their health just basically as a resource. You have a bunch of it, as long as it doesn't say 0, I guess you're not dead, so you can keep on going. And if you have an abundance of healing supplies, I guess you're in good shape. And look at that, Lasix is back up to full 100, 100. Junie, still a little bit worse for wear, but can find some stuff sometime soon, I'm sure. And all three Saints are still in this game after I thought it was going to be otherwise. Once again, I don't mind being wrong. There we go. I don't know about you guys, but I was getting a little triggered that I could not see the chat in the streams. Or not the chat, but the kill feed completely perfectly there. So now that is all fixed up and we're good to go, of course. Doing it live as always. And actually, we have ourselves a supply package here right in the middle of the Saints pathway. I was going to say, don't just grab it. Make sure you have at least some sort of cover. And they're absolutely going to take care of that. That's a heavy assault rifle going into the pocket of Siri, so that is going to be quite nice, of course. Lots of building damage, lots of lots of damage if it hits you in the face, of course. And how many games are Saints playing tonight? It is a maximum of 10 games or 3 hours of play. So no matter what, we are done at 11 o'clock tonight. However, there is still so much games left to go here. So plenty of action here on the Saints Gaming CA stream. Getting the hang of this competitive Fortnite thing once again as the team's going to be, excuse me, grinding it out here. See the storm coming on down once again. Compared to the last couple games, this one's been a little bit bloodier to start things off. We're already down to 60 players, and normally by this point last time, we'd probably still have like around 70, and it wasn't until maybe the storm after this that we did drop down into the 60s. So something definitely happening aside. And to be honest, Saints definitely found themselves some solid engagements as well so far in this third game. Of course, 5 eliminations on the board for them, and they might have spotted another here in the cabin. You have to be careful, though, because other than these trees and maybe the bridge, there isn't really a whole heck of a lot of cover for them. They do start the engagement and very well can be flipped on its head at a moment's notice. Who's the captain for the Saints Fortnite team? That would be the person who we are following their point of view of. That is, of course, coach and captain, Siri. Ten seconds left until this storm looks to shrink once again here. Going to go right to the border. And now, where do we get to go from here? Not too far away, actually, so... Not a big hike here for the Saints, but they're going to be maybe a little bit late to possibly set up a fort. But now that we actually see kind of where Saints have to go, at least in this section anyway, there's no real forts, no big towers really around. So they might be actually first ones to get here if they can possibly set up. And a much better difference in regards to the amount of... supplies, the amount of resources, materials, that's the word I'm looking for Siri, at least specifically anyway, as we do have 500 wood, 500 brick, and over 300 steel here. Shot, he got the snipe on the truck. Okay, that was the truck shot, not the player. I was going to say, if he hit the person in the truck bed, Siri, you're an absolute legend. Still, could put some damage onto the truck nonetheless. More sniper shots coming from the top, and there is actually forts up there, so it's going to be a little bit harder to move forward in that direction. The bridge was the obvious choice, and the Saints are going to have to opt against going towards the bridge. Going to have to cross the river instead, but to be honest, that's pretty much wide open as well. Shots fired, going to be going right into the side of that wall, and I think either Junie or Lasix also helping Siri here with the sniper rifle. Long-range engagements are definitely possible. You see somebody, of course, just inside the building. Junie going to lead the charge here now for the St. Clair squad as they do have to move. Storm is within reach. Keeping an eye. Saw the player poking out the window, but not going to quite find it. A little bit of a warning shot to keep them kind of stuck in there. Keep your arms and legs inside the building at all times or risk injury. Another 40 seconds or so, and then we'll get to see where the storm moves to once again. This is where things start to get crazy, and the last couple minutes have been very quiet. Only one elimination in maybe the last 3 minutes. Still 59 players in the game as of this moment. Shots fired. It's going to take Siri, actually. That person's a sitting duck, however, misses the snipe shot, but it's at least going to answer with a little bit of an assault rifle attack. But are they going to get attacks from behind? This is where a third party could be absolutely devastating here towards the Saints. We know Siri wants to heal, but at the same time, he has to watch his back. I like the cans coming out here from, I believe that was Lasix, to keep Siri all topped up. Saints, of course, inside, but they're not going to be safe for very long. They're going to have to move once again. Here in the Weeping Woods, dipping and diving around all of these cabins, making sure every window is checked. And you see straight where the Saints need to go. Sniper towers in range. Other forts set up and good to go. Meanwhile, they're kind of stuck on the ground. Shots coming from multiple directions, and Siri's stuck on the road. This is definitely a bad spot here for him, but at least he can build his own cover. Of course, like I was saying before, he has a lot of materials here. He can help himself and help his team get back in the swing of things. Oh, they're going point blank with the team here, actually. Solid building gear coming out here from Siri to at least give himself an out. Looks like the jump on a player, going to tag them for at least a little bit of shield damage, but not enough to really get the job done. Junie has arrived here alongside Siri, and he's going to get topped off, of course, with that that shield drink. Going to be topped off on 100 and 100. St. Clair constantly ready to go for this next fight. Why can't we hear them talk sometimes? A mixture of two things. Nevada is definitely onto something, though, in regards to vulgarities. By all means, when things get hot and heated, you never know what can slip out of somebody's mouth. But also, at the same time, with this still being just as tactical as it is, like, skill in regards to gunfights and whatnot and building, I do not want to take the chance of them talking about a strategy and then it's going live and then being VOD reviewed, and then I get yelled at for exposing people's strategies, and it's just a wormhole that I don't want to deal with. So we're going to keep it out of the comms for at least for now. There'll definitely be something we look into as the season progresses. Oh gosh, Siri drops the wall. Somebody nearly got the snipe there onto him, but he does just dip just at the right side. We got Siri playing the Prairie Dog once again here right at the very top of the tower. Actually looking to maybe make an aggressive move, as we do see the Storm once again getting to that point where it gets small enough to the point where it's going to go right back into the Storm, and it's going to get small. They're going to have to get moving. And right now, Siri is so far ahead. Can his teammates actually catch back up? It's going to need to actually make the flank. It's going to get bounced off. Can he get the shots off? Not quite. Going to take care of that, but he's going to take a little bit of heat here. Does get knocked down to about 69 in regards to his shields. Another team hot on the Saints' toes, however, hanging on. That's actually 59. I am an absolute bot. Numbers are hard, apparently. And okay, here we go. From both angles here, Saints have an engagement ready to happen. Siri still has an okay amount of materials, but is it going to be enough for this late game? I'm not 100% sure. Of course, Lasix and Junie doing their damnedest to build that tunnel. Snipe shot from Siri. Going to go just a little bit wide. Tag down, knock down. But Kenny gets a finishing blow. The knock means nothing if you don't get the finishing blow. And we see he wants to get the hit on that. It's not going to be the case. That's going to be another knock. Can they get the finishing blow? Siri right in position is going to find it. That is going to be point or kill elimination words. Number 7 here for the St. Clair squad. And once again, another solid run as we are just about to the point where we're at the top 10 teams. Just a few more players remaining. 39 in the game as of this moment. Once we get to 33, unless there are a lot of lone wolves left here in the game, the Saints would make the top 10, and your predictions, whoever would saying yes that they'll make it again, double up on the top 10s. Views would then be correct. Still very early in this late game session or portion of this game. And this is a little bit awkward. Yes, Junie, Lasix, Siri, all full health, ready to go. But the fort that they have here, I feel like, is much more aggressive in nature. They don't have themselves boxed in. They're playing from the top. They have the positioning to maybe make a mess out of people. But at the same time, I'm worried about them exposing their backs a little bit. And we actually see Siri is just going to launch himself off to make sure that he can build a tunnel for his team. And keep on going right alongside the Storm. There is Lasix nice and close. Junie is right around the corner as well. Takes a little bit of shield damage, but not enough to really be too concerned about. And here we go again. Top 10 right around the corner, with there being 32 players left in the game. Siri was thinking about getting aggressive, gonna opt against it, gonna just keep tunneling out. Shots fired from below. Hopefully their floor does not get blown out from beneath them, otherwise that could be absolutely devastating. Do not want to fall right into the feet of somebody else, especially if they have a shotgun ready. A supply drop drops right into the middle of the Storm. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to go for that this time. Siri from below. He has 5 ammo left. 5 shots left in his assault rifle. That's absolutely brutal. He's going to have to rely on either sniper shots, which is absolutely impossible here in these close quarters conditions, or strictly work with the shotgun, which is risky in itself. Basically just trying to quick scope him. Last couple shots of the assault rifle is not going to get him anything. And Junie and Lasix, I don't know what their ammo situation is, but they can't even stop right now. The storm is still moving. Now that assault rifle completely dry for Siri. He cannot pepper any walls very easily, and Junie's getting jumped on, falls through the floor, and he's going to get absolutely demolished. More than likely, he is going to go down. 20 players left in the game. Siri, no shields up until that drink. Lasix still doing a solid job, though, keeping himself safe overall. Siri and Junie Siri and Lasix had to jump on that player. Gonna get some damage, but not enough to take them down. Down to 13 players left in this third game. Shots fired here. It's going to be Siri getting the worst of it. Lasix is going to go up against 2. He's going to get peppered from below. It's going to be a top 5 finish here for St. Clair this time by. So anyone who guessed top 10, guessed you're right. And now this puts the St. Clair Saints within 157 points on the night. So a solid top 5 finish here for St. Clair. Unfortunately, a lot of things just kind of fell away from their grasp. Unfortunately, Siri could not do anything in the end there in regards to knocking down walls. Shotguns are okay, but at the same time, they don't do a very good job. And you're not knocking down a wall with the sniper rifle. That is probably a bad idea. So he couldn't do that and relied up to Junie and Lasix to do that. Junie got shot down from the floor. The floor falls from beneath him. Does get taken down short to follow. And then Siri goes down, and Lasix was in the middle of like 3 other teams, and there was only so long that you can keep yourself alive there. So a solid run nonetheless there for our St. Clair squad. They do end up falling prior to a victory royale, but better than a top 10. So a solid job nonetheless here from the St. Clair squad. Let's see. Take a look here at everybody tuning in here tonight. Of course, very exciting night here for Fortnite. Lots of people tuning in. Definitely thankful for you all joining us here this evening. Double checking. You want to listen into comms during a CS game? I really don't feel like getting banned by the end of the night, so that would probably be a bad idea, Tyler. And everyone else just hanging out. So, of course, big thank you to everybody for tuning out tonight, supporting the St. Clair squad. Whether you're here for the St. Clair Saints or you're here from another college, another university, of course, always excited to have you here in the stream and have you watching our matches and everything like that. Of course, big thank you to everybody for... Man, I just did it again. I'm just rinsing and repeating right here. Of course, thank you for everybody for tuning in. But of course, big thank you to the sponsors that make this all happen. Of course, that being St. Clair College, the Zekelman School of Business and IT, PC Outlet, Tim Hortons, the St. Clair SRC, and the St. Clair College Alumni Association. We're getting into the next lobby in just a moment. Once again, going to take ourselves a very, very fast break before we hop into the next one. More St. Clair Saints Fortnite action right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
You don't know these streets like we do. 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 these streets like we do.
His head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just going to line up here for Lazzy. He's going to find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
And we're back with game number 4 here in the Play versus preseason. Saints with over 150 points after 3 games. And we're looking to see if they can keep this pushing on here for this next matchup. Of course, in regards to strategy, going to keep things the exact same, land in the exact same spots, probably find that transport truck that gets you all topped off in regards to shields and healing. And did they spot a llama? Hey, they spotted a llama to start things off. I was debating on saying would they spot a llama this game. Well, I can't do that now, because then... Here I am trying to be creative, and the Saints are just absolutely dumpstering me. It's A-okay. That's going to be a nice way to start things off. Not necessarily in regards to weapons, but they do find themselves some good healing moving forward here, as they do look to take Sweaty Sands early. Some early shots fired at the vehicle that Siri dropped on into, but not enough to really make him nervous at all. And it just dawned on me, I did not choose the outcome from the last game. Did the Saints make the top 10? They absolutely did. Prediction rewarded there to those going for yes. And now let's find ourselves another one here. Do we go based off of limbs? Actually, no. I think I'm going to switch this up. Will Siri find a legendary weapon? There we go. Going to switch things up a little bit. Will there be the legendary weapon going into the pocket of Siri in this game? Whether he finds it or has to order it via a bounty or via an NPC, I will count either of those if he's able to get enough gold to actually make that happen. Is the stream ending? Absolutely not. We are just getting started still technically here. We're only halfway through now that I really think about it. This is game 4, but of course we're at the hour and 30-minute mark here on the broadcast. And then here in this Play versus preseason action. I mean, it ain't a transport truck, but we do have a crazy taxi. Okay, I was able to pull up the in-game scoreboard to figure out where our Saints do stand here in this preseason. By them getting into, it would have been 158 points. They are tied with 4 other teams for the 2nd place position. As of right now, the leaders here in this Play versus Trios session is Biggs, Mars, and 7, who are sitting with 174 points. That can very easily be taken back within a game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how our Saints can continue to push forward. Okay, now they found the car that they stole out of Rocket League or something like that. Well, actually, hang on a second. You can't really steal it if I guess you own it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Epic. What a similar setup that we're going to see here from Siri as he's going to try and find himself a long-range shot there on that assault rifle. Just keeping people honest here in this game so far. Very quiet start here for the Saints. No real engagements as of yet. Been able to farm up and farm up hard on mats as well, of course. Nearly 500 in pretty much everything. Hey, and this is what I like to see here for the predictions. We have ourselves a bit of a back and forth this time. 50-50 right here, right now, between whether you all think that Siri finds the legendary weapon or not. And one thing I'll actually clarify as well, he may find a legendary weapon, but he doesn't have to use it. That is what I'm going to say here. If he opens up a chest, finds a legendary, and does not pick it up for himself, I will still count that just for the heads up, just in case it happens. Just in case it's like a golden deagle or something that, like, and it's not necessarily a weapon that has everybody's taste on it. Siri, this game, definitely not afraid to make some noise, just finding little pot shots here and there at places where he very well might think that somebody's at, making them play scared. And it's been a very quiet road for the Saints, but they're already up in the top 25. We're once again down to 67 players. Now, we still have a lot of game left to go here for game number 4. The Saints going to have to go just a little bit to the east of the salty sands. And here comes the rest of the squad here with the vehicle to move on forward. Going to be able to make it into that safe zone just fine. And they may have actually spotted somebody. Can they get themselves in position to pull off the drive-by? Although I don't think you can fire from the car, so they would have to hop out to do it. Oh no, they're changing the music. I swear to God, if I get DMCA'd, I'm coming after yous. Yeah, Saints are just straight up cruising here this time by going into the safe zone and going way past it, possibly looking for an early setup for an early fort. They might be picking a position. We do see the purple paint coming out here from Junie, suggesting maybe on the top of the hill. And eventually going to run out of fuel, though, so they get in pretty deep in regards to the safe zone, but now going to have to basically build where the car broke down and just keep on giving yourself a bit of a watchtower. Where, of course, as always, Siri going to be playing the prairie dog. I mean, I like that they're already set up and that they don't have to worry for a little bit. And just like that, it just instantly goes away. So thankfully there for St. Clair, they did not blow too much committing to that fort. So anything they use, they can instantly just farm back up here. Lots of brick around, lots of steel around. And their wood is still their wood is healthy. They're still pretty loaded up in regards to their wood supply. Yes. The stones that make movement absolutely ridiculous. Apparently, by consuming a stone, you can have yourself anime dashes. Hopping around the game, or hopping around the fields like it's Guilty Gear or something. And shots fired, wide open shot here for Siri. Not going to quite find target though. It is going to end up being built around. I think the shot might have just went wide anyway. And now, yes, Saints are in the safe zone, but do they opt to commit to a fort, or are they just going to try and get themselves a little bit deeper, taking the minimal losses as possible? Looks like they're going to keep on moving, but one thing I am a little bit concerned about with the Saints going forward here into this game so far is compared to the last 3 games, it's been extremely quiet in regards to eliminations, and then they're going to force it down to the point where it's the chaos at the end and trying to get eliminations that way. Otherwise, you're going to be strictly relying on your positioning in regards to points, which does not add up to a whole heck of a lot compared to finding yourself a couple engagements. Okay, shots fired from the top. We do see one fort just on the very, very southern side of Lazy Lake. Opt to hop in to the station and give yourself a little bit of cover. There is a sniper rifle here. Siri is absolutely going to pick that one up. Storm moving once again, just going to hop from building to building. Do not want to get picked off from the sniper tower built just below the or to the south of them. You can see that whoever that is up in the sniper tower is having themselves a field day, at least in regards to shots, maybe not necessarily eliminations, as we are still sitting here with about 61 players left in this game. Now, I believe there was a taxi somewhere nearby up on a hill that very well may have joined us here in Lazy Lake in the streets, so full team possibly ready to hop out of there like a clown car and ready to engage on our Saints if they're not careful. Of course, going to do a little bit of redecorating here to make sure that they're all topped up 500 on essentially everything. And a series is basically going to be lock and loaded right here. In fact, you can use some materials just to go get more materials. And of course, they don't necessarily have to move anytime soon. They can look to maybe make themselves a fort right here at the southern side of Lazy Lake and go pretty much right beside the other fort, just a little, or a couple forts actually. Lots of people, lots of teams looking like they're trying to have the same setup, and I do like where the Saints are positioned, dead center. In theory, they should have one extra round without needing the move for the Storm, unless they're extremely unlucky. Snipe shot towards a guy in the lake. Not going to quite find him. And sure enough, right on the edge, the Saints are going to keep themselves safe. Snipe shot just barely going to go wide here. One thing I do like about Fortnite, though, with swimming in the water, they didn't make it an obnoxiously slow animation that left you as a sitting duck. Sure, you may look ridiculous as if you're like a dolphin out of water or jumping in and out of the water, but at least you're not a sitting duck in regards to swimming. Saints find themselves an engagement onto one player, going to take them down at least a little bit in regards to their shields. Wide open target here. Shot is not going to make contact. That's going to be the assault rifle shot coming out here from Siri to at least do a little bit of damage to the shields, but nothing too concerning for that player, at least as of yet. And a couple sitting ducks here that Saints taking some pot shots at. Again, just a little bit of shield damage, but nothing too concerning. No real headshots or nothing like that, so still no eliminations here for St. Clair in game number 4, and it's going to be tough to try and find an opportunity to pop out and find one, as we are now getting into the start of the end game. Although if there is an opportunity for you to possibly get some pot shots onto somebody trying to make it back into the storm, or I'm trying to make it into the safe zone, would be a fantastic place to put yourself. So we do see, I think it's going to be Siri possibly going up high. Is he going to check this area near Lazy Lake, or is he going to be the one actually looking more towards the middle? Of course, the Saints have themselves a rather large fort going into this next section. 2 supply packages are within range here of this storm, so could possibly profit here for somebody to try and get into that situation. Bit of a back and forth battle between 2 players. We see, of course, Siri keeping an eye on everything. Looking for maybe a spot to get a sneaky shot in, but doesn't want to expose his head. It just takes 1 split second against a sniper rifle. That area to the east. That's not a fort. That's a castle on a gas station, apparently. And that is an absolute heartbreaker there for the Saints. They're going to have to move and move across the river. So they're either going to have to tunnel their way there or try to swim across. That being said, though, there are other teams in the exact same position as them. Do see, I believe that was Lasix calling out one of the players on the other squad right across. They're going to open fire, and they're going to get some damage on this team. Do they have enough materials to keep themselves alive? It looks like they are starting to falter, and they're going to have to run aside. Siri back to the high ground, trying to spot some players out. We do see a bunch of teams making a move. Saints are a little bit later compared to a lot of these teams, but they still have to move themselves as well. Snipe possibility, not going to find its target. Gonna try going through the wall here once again. Gave the team a bit of a second to breathe. We're gonna try and take them out again. And fair enough, you kind of want to make them move first. If you jump down and have to take the ground, then you might be the one getting jumped on here in the end. But the Saints, they've ran out of time. They have to get moving. 15 seconds before the next the storm shrinkage. I see, of course, the sniper tower up high. They see the fort next to them. They're going to try and sneak their way in the northeastern side of the safe zone. And they're going to go right on the top of another team to do it. I think they're going to try and engage them here for possession of this fort and get positioning here on the rest of the team. But they have to be careful, even if there is people below them. Even if you have a wall or a floor ceiling of some sort separating. We've seen what happened to Junie in the last game. Shot from below, floor broken out from beneath them. Nowhere to go, drops right into 2 players who have a shotgun. If there were people below him, it's at least a little bit quiet as of right now, but they're actually going to try and turn on to him, it looks like. It's going to be Junie opening fire on one of the players down there to at least keep him pressured from doing anything. Storm's starting to get really small, and we still have 50 players here in this lobby still alive. More than likely, the Saints are going to have to move again momentarily unless they get really lucky. And that's about as unlucky as you can get in regards to the next storm location, right on the furthest point away from them, in the middle of the river. We see one team opting to use a truck. If they still have fuel on that thing, nicely done saving it. Going to at least get them a nice armored way to get through. See a couple teams bouncing over at the trampoline as well. The Saints don't exactly have that luxury. They have the one trampoline, but everything else has to be done by foot. They're going to try and use the other forts from the other teams to help them cross. And so far, it's been pretty quiet. As long as they don't get engaged upon, they should be good to go here. Another care package dropped into the middle of where the storm will end up being. Saints going to look to try and contest around it. One team is trying to take it. In fact, they opened it, and they're going to be able to do that. That's going to be a jump shot there from one of the opposing members. And this is going to put Siri in a world of hurt. Lost all of his shields and a little bit of health as well to that lone shotgun blast to the face. With shotguns, you go point blank with them, you're probably not ending up in a good position. And that's going to be a submachine gun from above, it sounds like. Peppering Siri even further, putting him in an awkward spot. Lasix taking some heat as well. No shields onto Lasix, but the Saints do have some more. top them up if they can actually group up here. This is actually kind of awkward. The Saints are all separated here, different floors. Can they find an opportunity to get themselves back together? As there's going to be another 10 seconds before they get moving. Okay, Lasix and Siri have found each other, but where is Junie? Junie kind of left on the outside looking in, but staying alive as of this moment. They do find Junie now, so okay, they're all grouped up and ready to go. And they're going to have to bust through the storm to get ready for this next section. Going to try and slowly tunnel their way through with whatever strong materials they have left. To be honest, Siri not in bad position. Does have a bunch of steel available as well. But you can tell this is a close quarters. Shotguns being whipped out at any point. I've seen shotguns do like 190 damage if it's a headshot, so even Siri, who looks like he's in fine position in regards to health, cannot be so sure of himself if he runs into somebody with a shotgun. Siri leads the charge, Lasix and Junie keeping him safe while doing so. And just like that, remember how I was saying he had a ton of materials? Now he has next to nothing. And he's going to be peppered up top here. And okay, Junie nearly got the floor shot underneath him again, but a good little jump keeps him alive. Lasix down to a quarter of his health. What? Excuse me, one more shot, and he will go down. Siri, being the healer in this situation, going to keep Lasix up at least a little bit. Oh god, people are literally flying right in front of him. This is an awkward little dogfight it looks like we have going on here for this next one, and they're going to be able to take one down using the trampoline and getting the free kill onto this member. That one's going to go over to Siri, it looks like, going to find one. Can they find some additional ones? Of course, I think that's the Saints' first elimination here of this round. Excuse me for the coughing. Definitely do apologize. Lasix is going to get bombarded upon. Down to a quarter HP. Not going to be able to get picked back up. Not going to be able to be saved by his teammates. Siri being peppered upon alongside Junie. Junie is at least alongside him, but Junie does not have shields as well. We see right on the other side. This is going to get nasty. Ground battle here. Junie going to go down. Can Siri go out guns blazing, or is he going to run for the hills? He's going to probably try to run for the hills. And there's on hot pursuit of him. He is going to go down. So Siri and the rest of the Saints squad going to find themselves in 8th position here this time by, with only, I believe, a single elimination that time by. Going to move them up to 195 points. And then you get to look forward to game number 5. Going, of course, back and forth matches here. Of course, we were feeling the highs after that victory royale. But I can't necessarily complain about the other two matches that we've seen after that. They're still getting fantastic positioning. Game 3 was a bloodbath. They got a bunch of kills in that regard. But Game 4 was probably one of their weakest ones in regards to eliminations, at least. Taking a look now at the positioning here for these teams. Just a matter of getting this thing refreshed real quick. Not quite ready just yet. So I think Saints are at 190 something. I want to see where that puts them in regards to the overall game here. This will have them in 4th right now, losing a little bit of grip on those top slots, but still in the top 5 so far here for the entirety of the PlayVS Fortnite Trios preseason session. And of course, we still have another hour tops of play here as we're just about to hit 10 o'clock. So I'm going to hang on for just a moment as we get ready to hop into the next matchup. And we'll hop into the action as soon as they're live on the bus. We'll see you in a moment. Of course, if you've not done so already, be sure to follow us here on the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. Of course, this is your home for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team here at St. Clair College. We have still plenty of action right around the corner this week, as tomorrow, Thursday at 6 o'clock, we get to see the Overwatch team compete in the NECC regular season. Then on Friday, 9 o'clock, a bit of a late one, but we get to return to the Collegiate R6, watch our Rainbow Six Siege team right back in action. Then on Saturday, 3 p.m., the only match of the afternoon is going to be in C-Law League of Legends. It's going to be happening at 3. Sunday at 5, be sure to catch the Counter-Strike team as they take part in the Face It CSGO Contenders League. Had themselves a bit of a rough one earlier this week in regards to a NACE match. Let's hope they can come back swinging here for this Face It match. Then Monday at 7, we are back with the Upsurge Minor League. Our team had ourselves a flawless regular season, and now it's time to move into the playoffs and see if they can keep that streak up. Yeah, so of course, make sure you follow the Twitch channel. Make sure you follow us on Twitter as well to catch all the matches, exactly who we are going to be playing up against, and all the team news that relates to the matches themselves as well. But hang tight, game number 5, right around the corner. They're hopping on the bus now. I'll see you in a moment. And game number 5 is now underway, and it might get busy this time by, as we do have other members of the match hopping at least a little bit closer, looking towards the Sweaty Sands again. Whenever there was some sort of crazy engage early, it seemed to always happen there. So I'm curious if the Saints are going to try and get aggressive early, or if they're just going to try to take a more passive route. I know in game number 4, it was a little bit quieter there for them, and it did cost them a little bit in regards to the points in their leaderboard, as they do fall from 2nd now down to 4th. Don't get me wrong, that is still a fantastic position against about 100 other collegiate teams here tonight. And of course, I totally forgot going at the end of that one. Will Siri find a legendary weapon this game? He did not. So, everybody who voted no, congratulations on your channel points. For the prediction for game number 5, we're going to play the elimination game once again. Will the Saints get 10 or more, or 9 or less this time by? drop your predictions in the chat now. Excuse me, need a second to catch my breath there. It's been a fantastic evening so far of just constant Fortnite action. Okay, I'm going to be very excited here for these play versus regular season matches too when they do get underway. Especially since it's just match back to back to back to back. Because before the one time we did an ace, before we had these play versus preseason and then regular season matches, it had been a good little while since we had the opportunity to get Fortnite on the stream at all. So it's nice to have them back swinging with lots of content, of course, with their season just getting started. We'll be seeing them quite often, especially on Wednesday nights moving forward, as I think other than Fortnite, I'm going to fact check myself real quick. Other than Fortnite, what do we have? As of right now, absolutely nothing. So you can expect Fortnite to be the home here for Saints on Wednesday nights, if this is the way it's going to keep up, unless some sort of league pops out of nowhere. What is this? We have Junie's #1 fan here in the chat. I feel like you might have some competition. Okay, now the Saints are just being greedy here. We have a transport truck, we have a sports car. Is everybody just going to have their own personal ride here today? I mean, Siri might need a lift. I think he's running low on gas. Yeah, sure enough, he's going to get picked up here by Lasix's sports car. Get ready to move on forward. Passing over a weapon, of course. He does have himself that heavy assault rifle once again. So, look to make good use of that, of course. But, of course, one thing that we did see early in the... or not early, but late into, I think it was game number 3, where Siri's gun basically went dry right in the end game. Did not have enough ammo. And it really put the Saints in a bit of an awkward position. And Saints going to opt against any sort of vehicle and just try to truck it all the way into the safe zone. On foot, that is. Keep it quiet. Here I was thinking that there was going to be a engagement to start things off. However, the team did seem to go to, or the team that fell with them went to Sweaty Sands and have been basically just avoiding the Saints so far. Probably wise. I got a couple seconds left here on the prediction, of course. Nobody is going for 10 or more. Not expecting a bloodbath here from the Saints. Does anybody want to throw in 1 point? Just do the $1 bob. As we do see, Saints already finding themselves in an engagement here. In this game, I don't know if the lobby was a little bit smaller or what, but we're already down to 51 players out of nowhere, so either it was an extremely bloody start to this game, or maybe this lobby didn't have a full 90. I did not, unfortunately, catch that as we hopped into the game itself. I wonder if hopping on the stream while streaming will show me this number. Okay, it did look like it was about 70 players that started, so a bit of a smaller lobby this time here for the Saints to deal with. Some long-range pot shots coming back and forth here, but the Saints are in the safety of the Eye of the Storm, so they don't have to move too far if they do not want to. Opt to loot the house. We do hear some sniper shots coming from outside. Lasix, Junie, both in their own separate mini-forts, and that shot nearly goes whizzing by. Sirius barely going to keep himself out of dodge. Of course, maybe sitting there 100, but a sniper headshot could very well do 200. And then because this was a bit of a smaller lobby, you're going to be able to earn a bunch of points based off of positions right off the bat. But now it's going to get messy. I hear a car coming. Where is it? It's actually that truck. A solid shot. Going to dink one off a player, and the rest is going to hit the car. Two cars, probably same teammates, I would imagine. I can't imagine two teams going with each other, chasing each other down in their cars. I feel like that'd be a bad time. Bit of a far shot there for Siri if you want to try and make any sort of damage onto the car. And to be honest, probably not worth wasting the bullets. And then this is just... It feels like we have the same kind of loadout once again here for Siri. Just has himself a mid-range and long-range option there with the assault rifle. Have a shotgun for something close. And then he'll probably trade out one of these shield sections, some of these shield drinks, for a sniper if he can find one. Unfortunately for him, has not been able to do so just yet. Now, hover around the Salty Towers. We do see one player off in the distance here across the street. A couple shots were fired, of course, but nothing was tagged. So now things are going to get to move on forward. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay, there we go. A little bit of a lag spike there, but we're back in business. And then other than those few players that did drive on by, that is going to be basically it in regards to engagement to start things off. Does allow the Saints to farm up once again. They got their Guilty Gear dashes back again, so they're going to be able to just zip around all over the place. Definitely a good thing considering the wide open nature here of this Salty Towers area. And now, Siri's looking to get aggressive. He got the jump on those players, but did not quite make contact with any shots. He opts to pursue. One player off by himself, going to be tagged up a little bit. 36 damage done to his shields. And now do they try to camp the player stuck in the box? What's in the box? It's 2 of them, and they just took Siri's shields, and he's not in a comfortable position to try and get them back. He's going to try anyway here, try and sneak in a couple of these small potions. He's going to be able to do so. Does have the potion as well to, or the drink to get himself up to full shields, but not going to quite be 100, but still very healthy indeed. Did the players against him retreat while Siri was stuck taking a drink, however? Not 100% sure. There's a chest actually literally just teasing me right now. Just want to see what's inside, but Siri cannot expose himself here, otherwise he is going to absolutely get blasted. Does find the opportunity, and it's actually a med kit, so will definitely be needed. I would not be surprised to see somebody on the side of the Saints pick up that med kit. Yeah, this is a very awkward spot now here for the Saints, as Siri for the longest time was completely separated from the team. Lasix is down to actually a quarter of shield, quarter health as well. Junie there with the backup, however, has the med kit ready for his teammate and going to be able to top him up just fine. Messy situation averted. Storm but to move in the next 30 seconds. Saints are basically already in the safe zone, and they're going to go right back to that hut and see if those players are still there. Sure enough, they are long gone by now. Sniper shots coming from somewhere, and we're actually seeing a battle between the 2 towers here, right to the south of Salty Towers. Thankfully, that dash does make it a little bit harder to get hits, but that being said, though, somebody had themselves a good shot. Siri going to be taking some heat, but by taking that damage, he has been able to put a small start for a fort for his team. I think that was Junie that has arrived. Lasix is right there as well. Shot's going to tag him up at least a little bit, but not a lot of damage. As we go back to Prairie Dogging and we're waiting for the storm to arrive to figure out your next move. Don't want to commit your resources if you have to move. We see, again, Siri down to next to nothing in regards to wood, but has brick and steel for days as of this moment. But we've seen how fast that can deplete. And there's actually a player coming up on the doorstep. He's going to get open fired upon, but he was already in the midst of building. He's going to get knocked down to the ground. Shots from 2 angles. Bit of an awkward spot here. Third-party situation could very well be involved here for the Saints. Possibly pulled the trigger a little bit too soon here, and they're going to get aggressive, looking to hop onto the roof of that player's mini fort attached to theirs. Snipe shots going wide, and shots going on to Siri. Going to be trading a little bit of damage onto each other's shields, but that is the gist of it. Siri basically getting ready to go point blank here with this player. Has a shotgun in hand, ready to go. Opts against it. Goes back to the long range or the mid-range battle. And for a skirmish, I still feel like it's a little bit early in regards to time. Maybe not early in regards to how many players are still left here in the game, as there is, of course, 43 players still here in this round. Going to take the bouncy pad and get themselves out of dodge, but can they get themselves into a safe position? Of course, Storm was not in their favor, so they had to make a move. Was the very edge, just where the Storm's located. People not expecting that the Saints will be here, however, so it's going to be 60 damage done to one of the players. Couple band-aids around, but at the same time, considering how long it takes to use those and how little health they actually give you, we'll probably see the Saints bypassing that, even though they're basically going to be traveling with the wave here, with the storm, as there's 10 seconds before it gets moving. Where are the Saints? Are they all together? It looks like they just about are, and now they're going to start making a run for it because they absolutely have to. Next second or two before they get on the move. There's one more chest here. They're going to greed for it. They're going to get it, and they're going to be able to find at least some healing with those from that chest. So at least they're going to be able to top themselves up 100 each. But can they get back in the dodge, back into the eye of the storm before they take any damage? As of right now, it looks like they will be okay. And taking a look at the predictions as it is completed, of course, everybody assumes that the Saints are going to find 9 or less. I mean, they had the one standout game earlier where they did get close to it, I do believe, but at the same time, they haven't quite been able to hit that ever since. They've been playing a bit more of a safer game since about game 4. So, with mixed results, yes, they've been into the final bunch, top 10s, top 5s, but maybe not scoring as much as they wish to. Bit of a last-second farming opportunity there for Siri. And now, it's chaos time. With 39 players left to go here, Storm's about to start making things extremely messy here for everybody involved still in the game. Fortnite players are built different, absolutely, when I see these guys build as quickly as they do. It is definitely a skill like no other in esports. A little bit of a rough opportunity there as Siri does get himself jumped on. Junie looks like took a little bit of heat as well. Still has above 3/4, or they both have about 3/4 of shields left, so not terrible. Didn't take too much, but still a little bit annoying to say the least. Saints are in good position, and they're actually going to go point blank here with another team. They're going to harpoon themselves actually above the Saints, trying to get the high ground. But Siri was on hot pursuit, opting to stay close, considering the rest of his teammates are a little bit on the lower ground. Does spot another teammate, puts the wall up just in time. Otherwise, he would have absolutely ate the butt end of that shotgun. Junie is going to go down, unfortunately, there for the St. Clair squad. Right before anything could really happen, just gets taken down. Good shotgun blast, going to take him out. Lasix and Siri, nice and close to each other, one above the other at least. So they could still very well work together. Oftentimes in those skirmishes, it's very easy to just both take separate directions and never be able to follow up with anybody. But not only are they able to follow up on each other, they're straight up healing each other, giving each other as much time as possible by keeping them all topped off in regards to shields and everything. Storm's about to move again, and then right along the path of it is actually a care package as well. So not only is this going to be a difficult place to move to, but you have a very valuable package right along the path. Junie's revive card, or reboot card rather, is available. But at the same time, I think it's probably too risky for the Saints to actually go for it. As much as they'd love to have their third member back into this game, I don't think... What on earth is this? The subterranean assault was actually spotted out. So they're going to get knocked out of it, but it does allow them to push forward at least into the next fort. Yeah, as much as they'd love to have their third member back into this, just trying to get to the van, which was close at the time. Actually, no, that was not a van close at the time. That was a symbol for the card. But yeah, you're not going to find yourself a reboot van anywhere near this location. What am I talking about? Lasix and Siri keeping themselves safe as of this moment. And we're lagging right as we get into the heat of things. A little bit fuzzy for a moment. It'll go back, I swear. But now, see, or we can hear shots fired basically everywhere from this, or around this Saints squad. I'm seeing some Go Saints in the chat, and this is absolutely send the energy because it's about to get nutty. 30 players still left to go in such a small eye of the storm. The late game battle has arrived. Can they survive it? Siri is in a very awkward spot. He has absolutely no materials, and the Saints are going to place themselves outside the top 10 for the first time here tonight, I do believe. Going to put themselves at 227 points now. We'll have to see in a second where that puts them in regards to the overall standings here for this Fortnite preseason session. Of course, in the grand scheme of things, this basically is all going to get reset going into next week's regular season. But still, being able to say that you've won the preseason would be absolutely huge. And let's take a look. It looks like Siri's actually taking a look and seeing where they are in regards to their positioning. And some of it is still loading, so we won't quite know just yet here. But for those who did say that the Saints were not going to get themselves 10 eliminations, you would be correct. You're going to get yourselves the points, and probably a whatchamacallit? A good thing that all 100% of you voted that the Saints were not going to get that. Worst time for an ad. Yes, unfortunately, Twitch throws that on there automatically here for us, regardless of what we do. So, definitely do apologize that the ad came in the middle of the action. But gonna get ready for would be match number 6. With the way that this is going, we may have this one and one other match, and then we're going to run out of time. Of course, we do get the maximum of 10 games, but the Saints have been living for so long that they may not be able to get themselves 10 games. And if they don't go out guns blazing on these two, I feel like technically having the less games would put them at like the severe disadvantage, I would feel like. But we'll see momentarily. We will hop into game number 6 in just a few moments. We'll hop back into it when we're on the battle bus.
Nigga may be insane.
his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just going to line up here for Lazzy. He's going to find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feet.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Welcome back. We're getting into game number 6, and the Saints have themselves a change of strategy. Not going off towards the salty sands this time, but we're actually looking to get right in the midst of the skirmish, it looks like, as they're dropping right into Lazy Lake. Game number 6 here tonight out of a possible 10 if they can squeak a bunch of games in and go guns blazing of sorts. No matter what, the tournament does complete, well, not the tournament, but the session ends at 11 o'clock, and at least here, it's 10:22 for me, so time is ticking for the Saints. As much as they probably want some victory royales, they really need to find themselves a bunch of eliminations to jumpstart them back towards the top. I do believe after that last game with 2 games in a row of being rather weak in regards to eliminations, they did drop back down the board a little bit. I think they're around like 15th or something right now, according to the in-game client. So, of course, still a very solid position, don't get me wrong. But I know they want to get back into that top 5. And then a very odd spot here for St. Clair. If they dropped into Lazy Lake with the intention of getting themselves into some early gunfights, well, there hasn't been anything here so far. I mean, at least the drops in regards to supplies have been solid in their defense, because normally they would go for that transport truck that would instantly give them 100, right? So that wasn't guaranteed. They very well could have been sitting there without shields if the drops did not go their way, but thankfully for the Saints this time by, it definitely did. And this time we do have about 80, or there was about 80... maybe 90 teams, or not 90 teams, but 90 players in this one, so a much fuller lobby as well. And we may very well have ourselves an engagement and a little bit closer to Junie and Lazix. We're going to see Siri make his way up, and Junie getting peppered from the side. Shot coming out here from Siri, going to put a little covering fire onto his teammate so that Junie only takes a tiny bit of shield damage. Oh, playing a little bit of peekaboo, a little bit of whack-a-mole here right above the lip of that roof. But now, Saints find themselves in an engagement, but of course, Lazy Lake is kind of in the middle of everything. It is going to be in the safe zone, so they at least have that going for them. They can take this engagement a little bit slower. However, they have to watch out. There is, of course, other teams that are probably going to collapse in onto Lazy Lake at some point. Siri, oddly enough, going to be taking the sniper rifle to the underground. Only has 4 bullets left in it. Needs to find the chance, find it, and make it count. He's going to spot the player, but can he get the shot off? He's going to take a chance. He does get the jump on them. That player did not have shields, so he's probably down to about half health at this moment. But there is more than one player. Lasix here for the reinforcements, and they are going to be able to find one. Can they find the other? They're going to try and get the finishing blow onto one. They are going to be able to exactly do so. I believe they found another player right here. They're going to mow him down as well. What about the third? They're going to find all 3. A good, solid start here for Saints going into Game 6. A little bit messy, but they made it work. They're going to get themselves at least 2 eliminations credited to themselves for that one. Of course, your prediction here for game number 6 after the Saints fall out of the after the Saints fall out of the top 10 for the first time all night, I believe. That is going to be a prediction here again as Junie does get jumped on, but Siri's right here. He's going up against 2. He might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. One of the members, however, are down but not out. Lasix is going to come around, though, and save both Junie and Sirius, as that could have been absolutely brutal. Low-key, with the way that commentary started off there, I thought I was able to start dropping some bars, but instead, we are going to see both Chun-Li's getting themselves KO'd here. Took me aback for a second. I forgot that skin was in the game. Hey, one of the nice things about esports at St. Clair, however, though, is if there is a game that you want to start a team for, you definitely have the opportunity to do so through the St. Clair Esports Club. Majority of the teams nowadays get started off as student run, and then once they show or get shown that they're obviously super serious about it and doing a good job organizing things, and you may be picked up elsewhere. I was gonna say, starting a or as I'm talking about that, starting a club team but get denied. Okay, screw it. Just do it without their permission. You have my blessing. So a much different start here for St. Clair. They have themselves 5 eliminations already, so it's going to be 10 bonus points at the minimum so far here in regards to eliminations. Now, they have themselves a care package. What can we find here today? And oh, too bad it wasn't about legendaries, because there it is. That's going to be the legendary heavy assault rifle coming into the pocket for Siri. And it's going to be a little bit different. I've been so used to the Saints taking the transport into Salty Sands and then that rotation. But this time, of course, much different game. We're going to see them go through Retail Row for what feels like the first time all night. Seems rather quiet. And extremely quiet portion now that the initial skirmish had happened, but now the Saints are going to have to be on the move as the storm is not going to do them any favors this time by. And then how about this here? We do see Siri, of course, sniper rifle, locked and loaded. Finally has a little bit more extra ammo with it. 20 shots compared to the 4 he had earlier. Up on the high ground, has the bird's eye view of everything here. Does spot some players up on the high ground, right on the tower itself. Can he find himself a shot? This is a pretty long shot. And actually, from behind, Lasix is going to get himself jumped on here. Junie is going to be the first one to try and respond, but can anybody keep him alive? Unfortunately there for St. Clair, they definitely spread themselves out too thin. Where did the engagement happen? Junie is up here alongside Siri. And oh, there is a player right there going to try and take the snipe shot. Not going to find contact. Going to steal his card. The player does get away. Lasix would not be able to get revived. Looks like the ammunition did not quite go through. Okay, we're going to have the gasoline go out to just blow a hole through this entire building. Try to expose the player. Not going to find him. Still trying to fight here against these 2, maybe 3 players. See if they can get themselves a couple eliminations here. As, of course, the Lasix going down, they want to either try to get the card or at least try to get revenge on those that took them down. They don't have a whole heck of a lot of time, however. The storm will be coming within the next couple seconds. Loki might be able to kind of trap them trap them in here, make the storm do the dirty work there for them, but I don't think they get credited for the kill if that happens. Of course, the moments that they blow through the walls is the moments that they have to reload. However, it does knock one of the players, and now it's a bit of a crapshoot. Who's going to be able to get it? There's, of course, going to be one going into the... Or one's knocked down, but can they find the other? Storm is going to make things awkward. Okay, they are going to finish off the one player and get themselves credited for the elimination, but there is still one more player right around the corner. Back and forth gunfights here in the Storm of all places, and even if they win this, there is so much distance they have to run still. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to actually make out of this alive. Looks like the person they were fighting opted to run away, so it did give them a second to at least top off at full health respectively. But now they have to run quite a distance, and that player is still there. He's not going to make this very easy for the St. Clair squad to get into the safety of the next Eye of the Storm. I like the use of the trampoline, however. Going to put Siri and his partner all the way up on the high grounds. And in all of that chaos, they were able to get the reboot card for Lasix. They might be able to just make it. The Storm at this point in the game does hurt quite a lot. It's basically ticking for 2 damage a second. Siri's going to make it out just fine. Junie probably just going to barely get there as well. Pop some cabbage and try to get yourself up. Submissions closed on the prediction, and it looks like 100% of you have no faith in the Saints making the top 10 here in this game. Well, I tell you what, they're actually, in theory, right on the doorstep of being able to do so. We'll have to see as the Storm is getting smaller and smaller, and the Saints are kind of playing on the back foot, constantly having to react to the Storm rather than be preemptively ready for it. Oh, the days of, I think it was last year's Fortnite meta, where basically you spent the entire game just fishing, and then you just stalled out, and when it got to the point where there was like the last 3 or 5 people, everybody would just stand still and eat their fish, and whoever lives through the storm longest was the winner. Low-key happy that that meta's kind of dead. It did make for some tense moments. But when those tense moments involve people just sitting there eating fish, I mean, it can only get so crazy. Got ourselves one. Oh, that snipe actually made contact, and a huge one there from Siri, actually knocking the player. They do get the elimination. However, I do think it, or no, it does actually count for it. So a huge play there from Siri, finding himself that snipe, 105 damage without shield. You're not living that one. Beautiful shot. Caught me off guard. Okay, so Junie moves on forward here, but gonna have to be a little bit careful. Took a little bit of shield damage. Nothing to be too concerned with as of yet, however. And of course, this is still tough. It is just the duo now for St. Clair, Siri and Junie to try and push themselves both forward as far as possible. A nice little pickup actually here for Siri, able to switch over and get an upgraded shotgun. Better than what he had before. Normally this late in the game you don't really see much much inventory switching unless you have yourself like a massive opportunity to breathe. So it's good that they were able to capitalize on it. You hate to see it. Now we're just about to enter the danger zone, it looks like, as there are forts all over the place. Siri double-checking that a tiny little fort there to make sure that nobody was trying to do anything sneaky there. There is still actually an unopened chest after so long. They're going to be able to get themselves a solid shotgun. That one's going to go into the pocket of Junie. And the subterranean assault shall continue. Gonna get nice and close here to this colossal coliseum. Doing a little dancing for the fans apparently as we now get ready for the defense. Sitting here inside the safety of the Eye of the Storm, but still not going to be able to sit here for very long, more than likely. It's probably going to get to the point where the storm is going to start going into itself, start moving around, making things very messy here for the remaining players alive still in this game. 35 players still alive as of this moment. Oh, they don't have to move too far, however. Just a little bit more to the north, and you actually see the Saints right away moving, and in fact, maybe trying to get themselves into position to pick up this care package. Wise on them to take the balloon down as well. Don't let this thing slow fall, because you're going to be absolutely contested for it as well. Just don't get hit in the face by it. They're going to build around it, take care of it. They're going to find themselves some decent artillery as well as... Or actually, he doesn't even want the legendary assault rifle. Going to give that over to Junie. But they're kind of figuring out which way they wanted to do. Looks like Junie would rather have the Scar in this game. Must be nice to have so much good items that you don't know which one to even pass on over. Few players have fallen since the new storm has came out to be 30 seconds before the thing gets moving. 31 players now left in this game. Saints sitting in a solid position to go into the end game here. Lots of weaponry, lots of healing as well. One thing they don't have a lot of though is materials. We do see Siri with 500 steel, but that is basically it. Just basically everything. Okay, you don't oftentimes get yourself a free point-blank sniper shot. Instantly taking down all of the shields, getting an extra shot onto them without shields as well. Put them very low. Point-blank here with another team. Gonna make that shotgun work for him. 80 damage off that one pump alone. Storm is going to get ready to move once again within the next 30 seconds, and this time, this is where the chaos happens. It's going to get nutty here with these last 30 players. Gonna try and get a little sneaky with it here, and they're gonna just absolutely just beeline it towards zone. They're getting shot at from above, of course. It does not put you in stealth, but it does make you a little bit harder to see. Junie, does he get out of dodge? He's going to be able to. A solid shot there for Siri. Finds the two players battling and gets the kill shot. So that's going to be elimination number 9 on the board here for the Saints overall. Point blank here with the player. Very scary stuff. Going to be building himself aside. Going to bounce himself away with the jump pad as well. But where is Junie? Did he follow? I think he did. It's just a little bit further away. Going to really try to abuse the sand here in this game. And actually, we see a lot of these sand piles just jumping about. How many players are here? I'm nervous that they're going to jump out and there's going to be like 7 players in one spot. Siri and Junie staying alive. Very close shot there with that shotgun. A good jump out of the way there from Siri to make sure he didn't get hit with the head. The Storm's just going to be constantly on the move. Got to try and find a self-position to keep yourself topped off, as most of these battles are going to happen in the Storm. Solid shot there from Siri to do 108 damage off the one pump alone. Can he find himself the finishing blow? Can he keep himself alive? Junie is here with the heals, going to keep everybody all topped up. As long as they don't take too much heat, they'll be in a solid spot to put themselves possibly into Victory Royale contention. 23 players still left in the game, but how many of them thought about the healing side of things? Some solid shots again coming here from Siri, really peppering someone down, but once again, stuck kind of reloading. This time, however, in a much better spot in regards to ammunition. We've seen them before, running out of bullets in the last end game section, spamming too many walls. Took his time a little bit more this time by. Off we go, gonna spring on forward. There's another team thinking about doing the exact same thing, pretty much right on top of the Saints. And oh my goodness, my boomer eyes cannot continue to keep up with the action here. There's so much building, so much shooting. Junie is still here alongside Sirius, keeping themselves going. We're now down to the final 10 members in this game. Even though Lasix went down pretty early in this round, the Saints been able to keep on going, make that elimination number 10 for the Saints this time by. They've hit their quota. They can't get any more points in regards to eliminations. They just have to survive now. They got the 20 points for the 10 eliminations. They just need to live. Now, who has the healing, though, in this situation? Normally, in this endgame scenario, you try to stack all the healing onto one player so they have the best chance once the Storm gets absolutely abysmal. We're almost at that point. 8 players still left in the game. Trying to time their movements here alongside the Storm. Players are falling, but not enough. Where did the car come from? How does somebody have a car here right now? And actually, I'll give the Saints credit. They're keeping themselves alive, but they're also keeping themselves out of combat. They do fall maybe a little bit too much. This is getting a little bit messy, though. Are they going to be able to survive? They do manage to get one more elimination and get themselves in. Can they stay inside the Storm without locking themselves in? Very scary shots from above. 2 players on the side of another team going to get the jump on them. Saints are going to place 3rd here in game number 6 and getting 20 points for eliminations as well. Much, much better game 6 for the Saints. Got down and dirty for game number 2. Or not game number 2. Game number 6. Not even close. What am I thinking about game number 2 for? Not a clue. But now, trying to take a look and seeing where our Saints stand as of right now. Looks like they might have, excuse me, might have broken back into the top 10 after that one. And it looks like, looking at the time, we have time for one more 11 o'clock right around the corner, but we can squeak in one more game here before the Play versus season or session does complete. Looking like that. Yeah, okay, for sure. They are matchmaking into one more. So, final round of the night. Right around the corner. We'll see how far the Saints can push this. They've made the top 10. Can they go higher? We'll figure out in just a moment. The last game of the night, more than likely anyway, is upon us here, as it's now, of course, the last 10 minutes of play here in this Play versus preseason matchup. Saints had themselves a much stronger game number 6, but now one more time here. Where are they going to go? It looks like they're going to go back to what has been working for them in the past, I do believe. Hop in right away and loot up as much as possible, because I do believe actually there were other teams not too far away from their location. Gonna hop into the Rocket League car to start things off and get things moving. It looks like they're actually going to get aggressive on the team that did land somewhat near them as well. As Lasix is already here. Now Siri in position to get the jump on them. Going to find the elimination. That's going to be 2 now into the pocket of St. Clair, as I think Lasix found one as well up in the top. Now there's only one other teammate more than likely somewhere nearby, unless that teammate just ran for the hills. So good opportunity for the Saints to capitalize on, as of course did spot the team coming down in the same similar area. That team did back off and end up going to the house. But yeah, just grab up enough weapons to get into the fight and get the jump onto them. Don't let them get comfy. Not in the slightest. Takes care of them. Now, it was definitely a rough one there for everyone who predicted against the Saints going into that last one, as they, of course, do make it into the top 10. So nobody going to be getting any points here today on that one. However, going into this final one, let's take a look. What do we want to do for this final battle? We're going to go big. Will the Saints end it with a win? Firing that one off, of course, may be a stretch. I know they've had themselves a little bit of a harder time in the last couple rounds, exception of that last one, where, of course, they were able to get themselves into third, but to get themselves a victory for Royale. Some of you might be thinking that I'm stretching it, but you never know. They've done it already once tonight. I know everybody's getting exhausted, myself included, but I have faith in these players that they can get themselves up there once again. Well, that's a nice little present there for Siri. Gonna find himself an epic version of that heavy assault rifle. Of course, he had himself the legendary one last time, but hey, getting the purple version is definitely solid as well. All Saints 100-100 in regards to their health and their heals. Of course, still have a bunch of shields available as well. And oh, one more chest. What do we got? Even more little small potions. But I hear they only want your strongest potions. The weak ones only take up inventory space. Okay, so basically at this point here, Siri has the loadout that he absolutely loves to get. Two things of utility: a sniper rifle, assault rifle, shotgun. He's good to go. You might want that sniper. Yeah, I was going to say, pick that back up before you run it over. Oh boy. Low-key thought that Siri was going to roll it there for a second, but everything's a-okay. Gonna try and pick up Lasix so they can start moving towards this next Eye of the Storm. Lasix is just gonna pick up his own ride. A-okay with that, so making noise, farming up as best as possible as well. Got concerned at first once I heard the engine, but yes, of course, Lasix has his own ride. Makes sense. And of course, because Siri was able to find some gasoline, this truck is going to be able to go for a while before having to either find some more or you're going to have to abandon it. So, going to be able to make themselves get to that Eye of the Storm nice and quick. While they drive on into the site, let's take a look at where our prediction stands. As of right now, it looks like about 60% of you think that the Saints are going to end it off with a bang and get themselves the victory royale. Absolutely love the optimism, and we know this team can do it. So, looking forward to seeing how this one does end up completing. Where's the switch? Find the garage door opener first. When's the next live stream? The next live match after this Fortnite match, you will be able to see us again tomorrow at 6:30 as we're going to have some NECC Overwatch action. Yeah, Saints found themselves a pretty comfortable spot here, so let's see. How's everybody doing? I died to a bug. Unfortunate, I didn't see that spot. That must have been where, in the last game where he went down by the tower. Makes sense, makes sense. Saints are definitely doing a fantastic job overall. The fact that they are in the top 10 at worst here amongst hundreds and hundreds of schools is absolutely amazing. I completely agree with you, Sammy. Hopefully have rogue company once again. I'll see if the club picks it up, and then I'll definitely keep my eye on it. Obviously can't promise anything, but definitely love to see it. Yeah, so Saints basically all farmed up, good to go. Something just happened to Lasix, however. Does end up finding trade kill onto somebody, however. Knocks him down at least. Doesn't quite get the points for it just yet. Junie and Lasix are going to hunt. Oh, right in the open, actually. So it is going to be able, the Saints going to be able to take the card more than likely. Yep, sure enough. And finish off the player. Sure enough, that's going to be the case. Elimination number 3 here for the St. Clair squad in game number 7. Shout out to the fact that that guy's skin made him look like a crash test dummy. And then once again, Saints find themselves in a very comfy spot, so pretty much dead center of the eye of the storm. Don't have to worry about it moving on them anytime soon. And they're going to be able to catch a lot of these people who are zipping around here with those anime crystals. So, looks like Siri actually wants to go hunting right here. Has the rifle ready to go. Trying to find the angle. Might be able to find that one player. Little bit more. Spots them. Takes the shot. Not going to make contact. None of those assault rifle shots are going to make contact either. So now Siri exposed, but the rest of his team is at least right around the corner. Finds one shot, dodging the bullets until that one does take a shield. Right above him, trying to catch up to the player. Where did he end up going? From below, it looks like some decent shots now coming out here from Siri to tag them down for at least a little bit of their shield. Can they capitalize? Will another team get involved to shut down the engagement? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. It's going to be Siri going point blank here with the opposing squad. Going to take care of them. Another 2 more eliminations in the book. And they have another player trapped on the other side as well. Going to be able to hunt them down probably rather easily. Siri whipping out the crowbar and make sure that break through, but it hopefully doesn't blow himself up in the process. Not going to be the case. It is going to be finished off here, as I believe that was Lasix. No, it is Junie who finished him off. So Saints, to recap here, 5 eliminations total in game number 7 already. They're right around points where they would be considered the top 10. But so far, so good. There's also much, of course, the fact that we're already down to 38 players here in this game. This goes to show how much quickly, or how much more aggressively, people are playing the later this night goes on. Because, of course, we did just hit timeout. You die now, you can't start another game. It is 11 o'clock, so this is the final match no matter what. A huge flank here by Siri, and the rest of the squad are going to come on down and take them down. Do a little dance after getting taken down from both sides. The BM is real, but in the most Fortnite way possible. Oh, jeez. I'm going to take it down, then I'm going to use your fort for my own. It looks like it's the strategy here for St. Clair. Plenty of weaponry around them, so they're going to be able to take their pick of the litter. And they're in the safe zone already. Eye of the Storm in their favor. They find anybody as they try to cross. There is somebody not too far along. Was just in the sight line there of Siri. Definitely hear you, Sammy. Can't wait for the arena as well. Looking forward to being able to put on these shows. But at an arena like that. 2022/2023 can't come sooner, as we do see the snipe coming on here from Siri. Tries to get the jump onto one of those players, but the shot's going to just barely go wide. Saints in solid position, of course. We're starting to see more and more of these players trickle in. Can he find the snipe? The player does have the dash crystals. Not going to get the contact necessary to take them down. Of course, very difficult. You have to try and time that snipe with where they land after their dash, but not exactly the easiest thing to do. 2 members now on the site here of Siri. One player just going to bounce himself aside off the bounce pad. And looks like the rest of the teams are going to try and take advantage of that as well. Really trying to stay quiet here. Shots fired, not going to find contact. Really trying to make this work. Shots fired all over the place now. It's going to start getting messy. Maybe chaos time comes a little bit early here today. Definitely seems like it takes forever for these sniper bullets to actually make it to their target. It's weird seeing a sniper rifle be more of a projectile rather than a hit scan, if you know what I'm saying. Definitely not a bad thing, however, especially in a battle royale. Otherwise, you would just be running across the field and your game would just end. And that's no fun for anybody. Except for the guy sniping. Next storm location was not exactly in the favor of St. Clair, so they're going to start trying to tunnel their way there. They are back, of course, right around the Colossal Coliseum, which means some of these sand patches are definitely going to become available as well. Or just find yourself some crystals and try to dash your way there. However, they're dashing right into the fray, as we do see 3 sniper towers, plus maybe 3 or 4 teams. They're getting in there, they're getting dirty, and we're going to have ourselves a skirmish. Shots fired on the inside. All the Saints still full health as of this moment. A little bit spread out, but still full health. We do see Junie now here alongside Siri shooting on through. Can they finish the job? They're going to be able to knock the one down, but it's a little bit of an awkward spot considering they just fell. But that is going to get picked up here. Siri going to find the finishing blow. That's going to put Saints now up to 8. Did they clean up that fight completely? I thought they were just at 5, so if they just completely wiped out a team, that's huge. Alright, Saints don't necessarily have the high ground in this sniper tower war, but they can at least keep themselves safe a little bit moving on forward here. Keeping an eye on that really, really tall sniper tower. We try to see where they're shooting and try to pick off the guy on the ground, which we did see somebody hopping around in the sands. PlayVS might have spotted somebody from above. Gonna try and do a little redecorating to that ceiling. Alright, so the storm's about to get on the move. The chaos time has returned once again here. It's time for game number 7, and to make things even more chaotic, also have a care package looking to get dropped down upon. Might have been even picked up already. One of those teams absolutely risking it to make sure they get that thing. Saints are going to tunnel themselves on over into the eye of the storm, all safe for the time being. They find any picks onto anybody, or are they just going to play it safe? They need 2 more eliminations to cap out on points in regards to eliminations. Then from there, they can strictly just worry about trying to finish this game. Shot fired from window to window, barely going to miss the player. Lots of players just falling just as this storm is moving down. We are down to 25 now. You're left in the game. Siri and the rest of the Saints on the move. Try and pressure this tower. They want to have the high ground this time by. PlayVS leading the charge now. Pushing forward. Saints not going to be splitting up this time. PlayVS trying to make the call from the top. Junie kind of getting peppered from multiple directions. Not taking any bullets though. Not as of yet anyway. Now that they have the high grounds, they can probably get the good angles into some of the buildings without ceilings. Anyone else trying to make a sniper tower will be in an absolute world of hurt. Storm still moving, however, and it will be getting extremely small moving on forward here. Oh, one of the players are trying to make a run for it, not going to make it out alive. That is going to be the knockdown there from PlayVS. And Siri going to find himself another, takes him down, and knocks him out. So it's going to be elimination number 9. Saints just need 1 more to get the full 20. Oh, and there's so many people running for it. This is an absolute field day for the Saints if they can get an opportunity. That's always what's so chaotic about these end game scenarios. They catch the one player who was in the sand, and now they're able to pepper so much damage across the board. Some of these little pokes and prods may feel like it doesn't necessarily matter, like, oh, they'll just heal it off. But any healing that any team has to do right here, right now, is going to prevent them from possibly winning the late game when it comes down to the healing standoff. Which, granted, Saints right now, at least for Siri, he has a couple of those cans and splash it across the board onto everybody. Does not have any sort of burst healing, though, for himself, really. No first aid that he can sit down on or anything like that. No fish. Storm will be on the move once again here. Siri was getting pressured for a second. Now we have the jump pad coming on out. Saints are going for it, really trying to cross a massive amount of distance in a very, very short time. A risky play, but looks like because of their positional advantage, they will be able to take advantage of it for at least a little bit longer. being able to get all the way across into the storm pretty much unharmed. Now they get the open season onto everybody. A little bit of damage here and there on multiple players, which again, of course, you may not be finding yourself the kill shots, but really at this point, Saints probably aren't too worried about the kill shots. They want to finish this session with a victory. Some big damage coming out here from Siri onto one of the players from below. Not enough to finish them off. There's a kill shot, though. That is going to be the quota met here for St. Clair. Now they're at 11 eliminations, so 20 points on the board for them. Now, how long can they hang on? But how appropriate. The Saints with the bird's eye view are absolutely controlling this endgame scenario. 14 players left to go. Make that 13. One player knocked down, but not out just yet. They are going to find the kill shot. What does he have that they want? How about a legendary sniper? No, it's all about the bounce pad. They want the mobility, and they're going to keep themselves in the game that way. And as soon as he gets it, right back up to the high ground once again, trying to get the jump onto this player who's looking to challenge them. Trying to meet them here head on in the high ground. Lasix trying to get him with the shotgun. Not going to quite find it just yet. 10 players remaining. One player off the side is going to get dropped. Solid shots there from Siri. He's going down low to try and take down another one. They're keeping themselves going. All the Saints are still like 95% health or higher. Doing a fantastic job of keeping themselves out of the storm, not taking any chip damage in the slightest. Getting down towards the end to the point where the storm is just going to be pretty much everywhere. One more down. Saints around the corner. 6 players left, so only 3 left. They're going to find one. Siri is going to go down. He has none of the healing, however. He just went in aggressively. Junie's going to be going down as well. Lasix, I think he's in a 1v1 to finish this one off. Can we see the finish here? Lasix versus, I think, one other. Yep, it's a one-on-one to finish things off. What does Lasix has? He has so much healing. He can out-heal this. He's going to find the one player, and that's it! The Saints get the victory royale on the final round of the session. Huge play. I love what I saw there from St. Clair. Beautifully done. Lasix going to get the victory royale. And holy moly, that's going to end their night with just below 400 points. And holy smokes, what a way to finish things off. After the couple rounds that we were seeing there from the St. Clair squad, I wasn't 100% sure that that they were going to be able to do it there, but they were able to completely just front load all of their healing at the very end there onto Lasix. And that fact that he got that one extra shotgun shot into the into the player. Granted, it was still shields, so probably, like, to be completely honest, he was probably eating so much storm that it did not matter at the end, because of course storm does not care about your shields. It just eats your health directly. And Lasix and the St. Clair squad able to get the victory here tonight. Of course, in chat says Max Limbs is 20. Yes, Max Limbs is 20 points, but each kill is worth 2 points. So that's why I was saying that once they get 10, that's why it's the thing. What it says in the game compared to what it said in the rulebook is 2 completely different things, and I've just been going off of what I've been seeing here in the endgame client. So that is what I've been doing there. Oh, I think they were just trying to show me their placement, and I absolutely missed it here. So just a moment. We're going to try and figure out where the Saints finished off here tonight after a long but exciting night of Fortnite. To have gone so long without casting a lot of Fortnite to then doing 7 rounds in a row is absolutely insane, but I absolutely loved it here today. Yeah, so 390 points is what they finished off here. 106 of them being based off of eliminations, 274 being based off of their placements themselves. And I want to see those predictions again. Where did you guys... Wow. 60% of you, so 59% of you thought the Saints were going to get themselves the victory royale here on the final matchup. And sure enough, yous were correct. Good call. And solid job there, of course, to the St. Clair squad. Doing it for the fans who believed in them, getting the victory at the very tail end. Right there for a second, just trying to see what the actual placement was, because unlike other leagues, this actually updated right away. And there you go. Now that I see that the stream has caught up to the match, everybody who successfully asked for or bet on the victory, there we go. Let's go. That was for us. Why, thank you, Lasix. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for doing it for the fans. Of course, one more let's go moment there for the St. Clair squad. Absolutely love to see it. Okay, I swear I'm almost complete in regards to where'd this go. Play versus trios. Event details. Session leaderboard. Where did y'all finish up? There we go. From 10th to top 5 as of this moment anyway. There's probably still a couple matches going, so that very well may change. But as of right now, that victory royale, those eliminations, that was the exact kind of game that St. Clair needed. Bumped them up a bunch of positions, and at least right now, bumping them to the top 5 may end up falling to maybe 6th or 7th or something if there's a game still going. But still a fantastic showing here for our Saints in this Play versus preseason, and I look forward to seeing what our Saints squad can continue to do here on Wednesday nights for the Play versus regular season, which starts next week. Now, again, in regards to matches happening in the near future, one more time, let's take a look at this schedule. Of course, we do have 6 o'clock tomorrow, NECC Overwatch regular season action. Then on Friday at 9, we return to the Collegiate R6 for some more winter regular season action. Then Saturday, 3 o'clock, no more doubleheader on Saturday, but that's A-okay. We still have all the action we need here from the CLOL League of Legends at 3, of course. Sunday, looking forward to seeing the Counter-Strike team bounce back after a rough one in Nace, but of course they're going to be taking on the Face It CSGO Contenders League, seeing where they can go from there, 5 o'clock there. Monday at 7, be sure to join us for the Upsurge Minor League. We have completed the perfect regular season, going completely flawless in our group. Now can we continue that into playoffs? Would definitely love to see it. And then, of course, still plenty more matches here on the Saints channel. So make sure you are followed onto the Twitch channel as well as to our Twitter to make sure you catch all the results and all the news regarding St. Clair, the St. Clair Saints, the esports team, moving forward into basically close to the halfway point in the season. It's not necessarily the halfway point. Some of these leagues are just starting up, but a few of them are also having playoffs. So it's some are finishing, some are starting. It's weird. But anyway, it doesn't mean that it's going to be any less exciting, though. Still plenty of content around the corner. And make sure to also catch our YouTube channel as well. We've been doing extra work to make sure that we can get match highlights up and running here, which I think this Fortnite match is actually going to have some match highlights as well. You do not want to miss those. And then very, very shortly, do have a bunch of player interviews coming up that I just need to get time to edit. So that's going to be right around the corner as well. So I hope you look forward to that and sub to our YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss a beat here on St. Clair Saints content. Words. It's been a long night, and I'm absolutely drained. Of course, my name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner. It's your producer here for the St. Clair Saints Varsity Esports team, and I thank you for joining me for this awesome night of Fortnite. And I look forward to it again next Wednesday, but I also look forward to the match we do have tomorrow for NECC Overwatch. Be sure to join me then at 6:30. I'll see you tomorrow for it. Take care and have a good night, everybody.